Hello!
And then that's what I said. Hallelujah, guys.
Ah!
Welcome to the Slowpoke Society Draft League. We're gonna be
But that's what we're
drafting.
called?
That's what SSL stands for, right?
It's
Did I
the
get that
Soapbook
wrong?
Society League. I thought it was the Soapbook
Well,
I should
Society
know
League.
this as a co-owner, but
I
that's
thought
okay.
I thought it was the Sam Society League.
Oh
Nope.
yeah, this is about
Oh.
Sam. Yes, this is Sam's league.
Who's that guy?
This is
So
the super stupid league, is what this fucking
super
is.
stupid league. We're just a bunch of idiots who
Anyway.
do draft. Well, at least the people
Yeah.
putting it on are idiots.
Oh.
So that's who's talking. We're the co-owners. We made this draft league, and we're gonna be talking about the different draft Pokemon that didn't get picked, the ones that did get picked, and all the teams, and then we're gonna be ranking all the teams. So let's
And
start.
all of Machete's weird choices.
All of Machete's
Start
great
excellent.
choices. do we want to show the spreadsheet?
Yeah, we show the draft board.
Okay. Ignore that. So let's go to draft board.
Yeah, just tell them.
Just ignore that. This might be a little.
Close your eyes
small.
on that.
I'm sure it's
Everyone?
fine.
Hey guys, you should have added a slide for this. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
We should have added a slide. No, but
All right,
look at all
here,
these mons that didn't get chosen. Let me make it a little bigger here so we can scroll through a little easier. So,
Yeah.
Zamazenta Crowned. I'm a little bit not surprised, but like Deoxys Speed.
Speed
That's a
Deoxys
big-
is big.
That's a
That's
big
very
one.
That-
big.
That's crazy. Like, actually, though. High speed tier, good enough attack, like incredible move pool.
Incredible move pool. Like it's on par with Valiant. Honestly, it's like a
Yeah.
Valiant that doesn't need a scarf to hit 500 speed or booster.
Yep, exactly. You just put a life bar on it and go to town.
Special,
I think,
physical, gets all the moves because it's
Easy to do,
mythical
man.
with like 100. I'm surprised at that one. That one I feel like I could see going at some point.
Yeah. Maybe some like mid-season pickup. I think some of the biggest ones are definitely Lando T.
Yep.
Dude, and
Uh,
someone's picking that up mid-season though. Like I don't see it not being picked up. You feel
I don't
me?
see it not
Like,
being picked up
Rapid
either.
Strike is my biggest surprise.
Yeah, Rapid Strike's big too. That's a very, very hard-hitting mon. I mean, you get 3 hits that are super effective. Water type. I mean, water hits a lot of things.
I suppose it's probably due to the prevalence of Rocky Helmet.
Yeah, Rocky
Helmet.
Helmet.
It just dies if someone brings Rocky Helmet.
I mean, I don't know who else would want that other than me, and we'll talk about why that is once we get to my team. But like, yeah, I was deciding between this one and another mon, and I opted for the other mon. So
I think one that really aggravates me that wasn't picked up was Enamorous Incarnate because you said you were going
Same.
to pick that up, PG, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'll give it to you, and because I wanted it.
you didn't say you
never
were gonna
picked it
give
up.
it to me. You said you wanted it.
I did say I wanted it, but then I said I'll find something else and give it to you.
Oh well.
listen, Dad, we don't want to go down that road. There's a high Drapple still open. Big dog.
You know, I have.
and
we'll see
we
why I
weren't
didn't
gonna
get
pick
Hydra-
it.
See why I didn't get
Listen.
Hydrapple. I think a few other big ones of note are we see obviously Ogerpon and Hearthflame got picked up, and we'll get into that later. But
Wellspring didn't though.
Wellspring didn't, Regular didn't. I feel like Rock is the weaker of them, but I think Grass is probably the better out of those like two,
I
at least
mean,
when it comes to Rock.
No
and
Terra is
regular-
kind of big for Ogerpon. Like it's still fast and hits really hard, but like
It's like a truck.
yeah, the grass one you can hold an item with, which is really nice. But like the Terra, getting
Defiant
that
is so good too.
that boost, yeah.
You got Defiant is such a good one.
I think the most surprising, actually, though, out of all these picks is Ferrothorn.
Yeah.
That guy is
Yeah.
like
Let it
such a
stay
good
gone. That
wall.
thing's annoying. I hate it.
I mean, it's like such a
Rotorform
good
and
wall, though.
Toxapex haven't
Again.
been picked.
I think another big one, that's like a Pokemon competitive staple, Rotom Wash.
Yeah, hasn't been
Dude, I think that comes with power creep, though. I think it just can't take the hits it used to. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
Yep.
there's just too much that will fuck it up now.
I think a few other like some of the lower ones, like I already said why we didn't get Hydrapple. We'll get into that, but like
Blissey
some
and
other big ones
Chansey.
like T-Tar,
T-Tar.
Metagross, yes, Azumarill.
Raikou.
Yeah, these are all big.
Aleki.
These are all big.
Reggie Eleki has an
Azumarill.
issue. It's called one move syndrome, aka one type syndrome, and all
It
that
can
drama.
almost Terra. We're doing Terra up to 8
Cloyster.
points, so
Yeah,
it's 9
uh,
points. You can't Terra
even if it was able to Terra, it would not be allowed to Terra. That 200 base
It's
speed.
terrible.
That's
It's a faster Deoxys speed at that point, and it has Bolt Beam. Like, come on. That would cause chaos. I think a Moongus not getting drafted was big. I think
Because we do have sleep. We do have sleep in this league.
Sleep is legal in this league.
Is legal.
Despite my attempts to get it not.
You will
legal.
never get it.
You know what? I was sad
banned.
about that Sneasler got dropped. Someone picked it up and then dropped it.
Yep.
Sneasler is a big one.
Yep.
Because dire claw hacks will win you a game. 50% of the times, more like 10%. But you know,
I think
talk about that in the next part anyway.
Yeah, I think also another interesting one that wasn't picked up, Annihilate.
Annihilate is big.
Not a niche. It's
Well,
niche.
Annihilate. Yeah.
It's because
Annihilate-
you didn't pick it up.
Annihilate and
That's all.
Infernape.
True. Yeah, Annihilate and
Feel like
Infernape are pretty big.
And Buzzwall.
Dracovish, the menace from our last league.
Dude, people don't know about Buzzwole, baby. I'll put that guy on.
He dies to peck, but you know that's besides.
Maybe not
we
a
wanna
peck,
start,
but
we wanna start looking at the teams?
Yeah,
Let's go ahead.
And we are going to be
Move.
ranking them, so if we're going through and oh, I don't know what that did. Oh,
This might
presenter
be-
view. Oh, this kind of
this
more
is
what I
probably
want.
better.
Perfect. Yeah. So Deadlocked. Scary team: Palafin, Zapdos, Tinglu, Mega Diancie. What's that thing called?
Cyclosar.
Cyclosar, Tangrowth, Tinkaton. I'm gonna be forgetting names all throughout this, man. I've been looking at Pokemon too long. Skeledirge, Overquill, and Quagsire. Scary
And
team.
I will note, and I just want to note real quick, this is obviously a low Terra league, so this coach decided to go with Terra Cyclozar with Dragon Steel Fairy, which that's a core right there. A core as a Terra, already Dragon normal type. That's crazy.
Yep.
And then Overquill, Dark Flying Water. That's an interesting one in my opinion. I think you probably would have gotten more mileage out of Terra and Quagsire over Overquill, but Quagsire's typing's pretty good because it's only one weakness and it's a 4 times to grass. So, you know,
Yeah.
easily
I mean,
play
both were
around.
good targets. He had some hard decisions to make.
I want to say though, with Cyclozar Terra, personally, I would have rather seen a Terra normal over Dragon. Dude, Double Edge is hurt. When it getting shift gear, it's just a pseudo sweeper.
Yeah,
Like,
it could definitely run rampant, especially since it gets rapid spin for a speed boost.
And like Dragon's nice for like big Dracos, but beside I don't
And
know.
shift gear.
I think Terra normal can do a lot more.
I think we're also forgetting real quick that he has 2 unaware mons in the form of Skeledirge and Quagsire. He has 2 regenerators in the form of Cyclozar and Tangrowth. Massive bulk in Tinglu and Zapdos to some extent on the defensive side.
And
Tinglu is
and
both,
Tinkaton.
and Mega Diancie. Well, Mega Diancie actually loses some of that bulk, so maybe not.
It loses
And
bulk. It's a
Tinkaton.
lot more offensive.
Yeah, and Tinkaton is a
Tinkaton's
very,
bulky.
very nice specialty defensive mod. So I think
Yeah.
this team is
And
pretty heavy
Overquill
hitting.
Intimidate.
It is a very, very, Intimidate too. Like, this is a very tanky team and a very hard hitting team. It's definitely something whoever's up against Deadlocked is going to have to be afraid of.
I'll say
Okay,
here's
so
some
we want-
downsides. If
Yeah,
I'm
go
gonna be
with
the hater.
downsides.
Only 10 Pokemon. When you go against a lot of draft teams, there's gonna be disadvantages, right? You're just not gonna bring certain mons because they don't match up well, which means you already have a less limited pool. And if your opponent can spot that, then it's so much easier to prep for.
Yeah.
And you're just gonna have to do more in order to win. I think. So I think that's a big thing when you only draft like the minimum. You got to watch out for. I also think that like, I mean, like you're not gonna bring Cyclozar like every match realistically. So then your fastest mon is gonna be 110 speed, and it can't become Scarf. So I'm a little worried on its speed tiers.
I for one shouldn't worry too much about speed tiers because you have Jet Punch Palafin. That's a 160 when it transforms. It's 160 base power Jet Punches. If a team's weakened enough, that thing just runs through it.
Wait, you mean 160 base attack?
Yeah, 160 base attack once transforms.
Okay,
Jet
you said
Punch-
base
Jet
power,
Punch
and I was
base
like,
power.
what?
Oh my
I
bad.
mean-
I apologize.
There's still ways around. Like priority is nice, but like speed tiers are still. I don't know that they're better than priority, but like you want both. So his team is a little slow. That matters.
This is also,
That matters because like only one priority mon, he's got to position it, that sort of thing. Like, what if he goes up against a water absorb guy? Like, what other priority does he have?
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Like you guys get jealous it, that thing is bonkers, not gonna do anything. So that's one mon gone, and you're not like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's just Like, we're already talking about it right now, like certain matchups and how it can hurt his team real hard. So I'm curious how he plays it and how he goes
I'm
about
curious
the
too.
He
season.
can do very well
At the
with
end
this
of the
team.
day,
Like, it's still a
At
well
the end of the
constructed
day,
team.
it's variety is the spice of life, and
True.
he has a lot less variety than some of the later teams.
Yeah,
But he has definitely invested his points in some good
good
Pokemon.
mons.
Yeah,
Good
it's a very
mons.
good cast in that team, and I'm gonna say
Yeah.
that a lot, and that just means a team that covers all bases.
Yeah. So
I put him
think
in B.
that's-
I'd put
Yeah,
him in B
I
as
think
like a
we
starting
We get
point.
started off as a B team. I
yeah,
agree.
B team for sure.
We
Definitely.
could definitely go back and rearrange these later on once we've gone through all of them.
I agree. We can do that to the end.
Ninblox.
Ninblox.
The Texas Blazikins. Did we say he was the what was the last
Yeah,
team name? The
we-
Dallas Jails? I don't know if we said that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we got the Texas Blazikins here. He's rocking Darkrai, Celesteela, Blaziken, Mega Gardevoir, Swampert, Garganacl, Rotom Heat, Xatu with Terra Flying, Steel and Dark, Dragalge with Terra Dragon, Dark Flying, and Bramblegast. And let me say, Bramblegast, he wins. He wins the whole league.
Bramblegast!
He wins the whole league.
This is that, and a fun fact as well. This is also my first week match,
Yeah.
so I've got to.
Sam is
prepare for
getting
this.
6-0.
Yep, he's gonna get 6-0. Is that Darkrai's gonna quick Thunder Wave or Will-O-Wisp or Hypnosis in front of everything on his team?
Hey man,
And-
don't worry. Do you know why? Do you know why? I'll just rapid spin.
Yep, we'll get into why.
We'll get to that one
We'll get to
later.
that one.
But quick to talk about this team. I think it is very scary. It is. It's got good bulk. It's got good speed. It's got good offense. I mean, Blaziken. We don't have speed boost banned in this league, so Blaziken just you get up like 1 or 2 speed boosts and like maybe a bulk up. It's over.
Does it get bulk up? I know it gets sword stance.
It does get bulk up.
It does
I think it also gets bulk up.
It gets both.
Well, either way, Blaziken. I mean, getting the speed is really nice, but Blaziken needs more immediate power. Like, it needs to be running something to give it that immediate power. Sword stance,
Like
life
weakness
orb,
policy.
Yeah.
weakness policy.
Dare I say,
got some
Blaziken has not beat the fraud allegations.
It's not.
in
It's
Gen
not.
9.
Yeah.
In Gen 9, it is a bit of a fraud. I want to
it's
see
a
how it
good
does
mod.
in draft.
It's still
It's
too
a good
new in
mod.
Gen 9, I think. I think the other issue too is most other leagues they ban speed boost, which is fair.
True. We gotta see how it does.
And I think in a league where it has speed boost unbanned, granted it can't Terra, and we put this thing at 16 points because speed boost is unbanned.
Yes.
It's definitely worthy of the 16-point tier because you get up 2 speed boosts, you get up
yeah.
a sword stance or 2, you just run through every team. There's nothing you could really do.
Yeah.
Granted, you have the limited coverage, but at that point, does it really matter? Because you could have a really good late game sweeper in Blaziken. Not to mention you have all incredible threats in Garganacl to whittle down with Salt Gear. You have Xatu to do nonsense with Xatu things. You have Rotom to trick
Magic
things
Bounce.
around. Mega
Magic
Gardevoir,
Bounce.
Celesteela, Dragalge with adaptability. This is a very good team. It is a very good team for hitting hard, but it's.
We can
But
talk
I
about
think it does have a few
strong
weaknesses.
points.
It
I
does
think we
have
should
a
talk
few
about.
weaknesses.
I think we can start with the strong points of saying, like, I think this team is definitely a bulkier team
Yes.
overall. I guess you got your win cons, right? It's actually a pretty, like, overall simple team to execute, right? Darkrai is a late game sweeper or breaker. Blaziken's going to be mainly
The
a
other
late game
one.
sweeper
Yeah.
or breaker. You know what I'm saying? Like, Meta Gardevoir is probably a little bit of both.
Celesteela with Beast Boost is always annoying. I
And,
don't know what.
that can change too. You don't know what you're facing there.
Yep.
Garganacl with Salt Cure. I mean, you're basically guaranteeing someone on the other team has to have Covert Cloak, or you're going to be at a disadvantage if he brings it.
Especially
Rotom
if you have
Heat,
a water steal.
exactly. Rotom Heat,
Yeah,
it could be utility, it could be special attack. Dragalge's really good. I think for a low point or two. Overall, yeah, he has a lot of strong points, and that's a lot. I think it's a team that's, like I said, easier to execute. But I'll say going on to the weaknesses.
Let's say
Um,
I've got a weakness straight away. Essentially every Pokemon he has besides Dragalge is min-max in one way or another. Darkrai is incredibly fast and incredibly strong, but it has paper thin defenses. The same with Gardevoir on its defensive side. Same with Garganacl on its special side. They're incredibly useful because they have that ridiculous stat, and then he has a few all-arounders like Swampert and Dragalge. But if you run a mixed attacker, you kind of can sweep through
Punch
a lot
holes.
of his late game sweepers.
Punch holes. Yeah.
Yeah, very easily. Or if you have something, as I said, that can be a mixed attacker but don't, like I don't know, Cloister for example. You bring Shell Smash on it, you bring Liquidation and Hydro Pump. You're hitting both sides that he's not going to be prepared for.
Definitely.
I think another big thing is it's speed tiers again. I think
Oh, his speed are quite low.
Yeah, they're very low.
they are very quite low, and I don't think their mons are. I mean, like they're bulky, but they're not the bulkiest.
Yeah.
Only having again, this is another thing we're gonna harp on 10 mons. You know, if you have a
Right,
bad
yeah.
matchup, it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be kind of hard. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Just less
Personally,
options.
yeah, I was personally looking at this team. There's like 3 types that run through it super easily: rock, fighting, and the other one which I lost at the top of my head. Good job, me. But I think
but
Bug.
it's there. It's there.
It's
Yeah.
there. It's there. Bug can run through like there's like it runs through 3 Pokemon on this team. Bug. So I don't know if you bring Bug, but this team definitely has a good fair bit of weaknesses. Not having that speed is definitely going to be an issue, especially since like the things that have that low speed, they don't necessarily have super insane bulk outside of like Garg and Celesteela. Like their bulk's insane, right? Don't get me wrong. Is like I think Celesteela is like only lowest stat is that speed. Everything else is like near like 100. I think
Yeah.
it's really crazy in this stat pool like that. And Blaziken only being 80, you don't even have to consider that because I think it's going to get like 1 or 2 speed boosts up. So you should put that at like 100. Like, come on, like just
Well,
move that up.
that's an
Yeah, but it
important
has to
thing
use
to
a move
note.
slot though.
It needs to
It
use a
has to
move
use
slot
protect.
and a turn, which can't be taken
Oh yeah,
advantage of. So that
definitely,
matters.
100%.
Yeah,
Overall,
100%.
I think it just kind of boils down to how the coach plays the team.
Yep.
Because for all we know, we could be saying whatever we want and how like, it may not do good, and week 1 he might just 6-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We genuinely don't know
A
until we
lot of
see.
these are going to come
Who
down to how
knows?
good of a player who is
Yeah,
piloting this team.
I
Like
will not take any. I will not take any Ninblox slander. He's
Ninblox, we've spoken to him a good bit. He is a saint.
There's a yeah. Yeah. It's
even if
good.
he's my week 1 fight, like it's gonna be good. It's gonna be close,
I would,
probably.
if we want to go and tier this now,
Yeah.
I think B is a good spot to put this team in.
I think
So
it's
too.
high B.
Yeah, high B. I mean, we only have 2, but we can obviously rearrange
Yeah.
this
Could
later.
it be? Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Make a new
around on
tier,
par
make
with the
high B.
drills. Maybe
Yeah,
a little lower,
yeah.
maybe a
Now
little
let's,
higher, somewhere around there. So I'll leave
yeah,
them.
I
I'll leave
think
them right
I
there
don't know.
for
They're
now.
pretty close
yeah.
with Deadlocked with
Yeah,
that
pretty close
thing.
with the drills.
All right, team 3. Who wants to read off this one?
Raxos.
Raxos. I can do this one.
Okay.
His team is terrifying. It is Melmetal, Mega Charizard X, Mega Pidgeot, Mew, Mightyena, Electrode, Silvally, Fezandipide, Milotic, and Brute Bonnet.
And
First of all,
oh,
terrifying.
very terrifying. Speaking of Terra, the Terra captains for this team are Mightyena with Dark Fairy and Ghost, Brute Bonnet with Grass, Fire, and Ground, and Electrode with Electric, Grass, and Ice. I don't think there's much to say here about those Terra types. Those are pretty standard for those Mons, and I think on Brute
Good
Bonnet, those
Terra
3
types.
are very scary. You get that thing loaded dice, Terra, Grass, Bullet Seed, it's melting things. Like, there's no going around it. The only thing it's not melting is probably, like, Fire Ground types. Not
He's
Fire
got a
Ground,
secret
Fire
sun
Dragon.
team.
Yeah,
We've been talking. There's a couple people in this league who have secret sun teams. This is one of the secret sun teams. There's a few flat out sun teams. This is one of the secret sun teams with the Brute Bonnet, the Charizard X, and actually the No Guard Pidgeot.
Yeah.
No
And
Guard Pidgeot
Hurricanes,
is
man.
scary.
Hurricanes.
Hurricanes in the
Heat
sun, man. If
waves.
it really
It gets
wanted
heat
to.
waves too. Yep.
Yep.
Right, let's go to speed tiers. This is what we like to say.
Fast.
This is very good
this is a
speedy team.
very varied speed tiers, and even its middle having a middle ground that is just about 100 is amazing.
Yeah, definitely,
And
100%. I agree.
and having Electrode running that stuff at 150, Mega Pidgeot following back behind with 121. Those are really good speed tiers.
I also
100
think
is quite an average speed tier for higher
what's a,
tier mons.
what's important to talk about is his lower end too. Metal Brute Bonnet. You can learn Trick Room, and he could run Trick Room with these mons too. It's just the amount of speed tier, the variation of it is very good on both ends.
On the topic of
definitely.
variation, Mew and Silvally.
Oh
Any
my god,
move,
those
any
those
type.
two Pokemon are going to be
Yeah.
very, very difficult to play
Hard
around
to
Mew.
prepare for team for sure.
Yep, we
Yes,
don't have
100%.
any move restrictions outside of like obviously like Oko moves and standard other like annoying moves
Poker
like that.
moves and evasion boosting.
But when it comes to Mew having a massive move pool, you never know what this thing's gonna bring. How do you prepare for a Mew? You don't. You just hope. You just bring a Dark type and hope for the best.
Yeah.
And
Amen.
Silvally, the only saving grace with Silvally is once you know its item, you could kind of figure out its set. But outside of that, how do you prepare for a Silvally? You don't.
It's
You,
any
you can
type he
prepare for the
wants.
you
You
can prepare for
prepare.
the most
Yeah.
logical type, like the most logical coverage, but we also have Terra, and those types could be covered by the Terramons. Like it could be Silvally Ice for whatever reason, but Electrode is right there with Terra Ice, so it could be something else. It could even just be regular, flat out normal to eat ghost moves, and it could hold an
That's
item.
true.
It's a
That is
very
true.
difficult mon to prepare for.
It's a very difficult one to prepare for, and it has just borderline mythical stats.
Oh yeah, definitely. 95 in every stat is nothing to scoff
I
at.
mean, it is a legendary.
To some extent.
A jack of all trades is a master of none, but better than a master of one.
True.
This thing can. It has access to swords dance, I believe. It has multi attack. It's going to be a threat.
I think
You
you
can
get
run
some
it
special
special.
moves too. Yeah.
You can run it
It's
special or physical. It has a
special.
very diverse move pool, and I think Game Freak did a good thing not putting this in Gen 9 because if they got access to a lot of those new moves like alluring voice and stuff like that, this would be
Oh
even
god!
trickier to deal with.
Imagine
Especially
it
since
with
it already gets
terror as
parting
well.
shot.
Yeah.
Imagine you go up against a Sylvally electric, and then suddenly it becomes a Sylvally flying.
Oh, that would be
It's a terror.
It's like what Arceus does
I
in
was about to say
Ubers. Yeah.
it would it would
And
be
it's little Arceus slurp.
It would be Arceus Steel
Yeah.
nicknamed Arceus Flying.
so one weakness I do want to address with this team, or right out of the gate, um, very ground weak outside of Mega Pidgeot and Brute Bonnet to some extent.
Hmm.
Melmetal, Steel, weak. It has very great defenses, but Megazard X, Drapion, Pheasantipity, Silvally, depending on its type, Electrode. I mean, Electrode's very fast, but it's also very frail. So like, you could click a Mud Slap and that thing will die. So, but it's still nothing to scoff at. Drapion's a very scary mon. Pheasantipity could spread around Toxic with Toxic Chain beat-ups. Megazard X, Fire Dragon. That's a very scary type combination and a very
Yeah.
scary mon on top of it.
Yep.
Milotic with what is it? Marvel Scale? I get it mixed up
Yeah.
with Multi
Marvel
Scale.
scale. Yeah.
Marvel Sky.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marvel
So
Scale
he
to
gets the
boost your
Burn Orb
defenses.
to be like a defensive guy.
Yeah. I used Milotic in the previous league we played in, and it was one of my most valuable Pokemon.
It was very annoying to play
It has
against.
access to Haze, Recover, Toxic, Scald, and you could even go for some crazier sets. You could go for Dragon Dance. It has a decent attack stat. You go for Dragon Dance Facades
Yeah,
because you have
definitely.
that. And the most annoying part, it has removal. It has Dragon Tail. So you
Yep.
could set up in front of it ready
Phasing,
to kill
yep.
it, and it just sends you away.
Yep, phasing is always very important in draft. So you have to have a way to deal with those setuppers if you know.
Hmm.
All right, we
Those
want
setup
to let's tier this guy.
I think I'm comfortable
think,
putting this in A.
Yeah, I think this is definitely an A tier.
It's a very intimidating team, especially with two
I mean,
megas.
I'm gonna say it's a high B, but I don't know. A is
We can put it in
I
A
think-
for right
I
now.
Low
think
We can
A,
always
high
retier.
B.
We're only,
We can put it in
only
A
looking
then.
at 3
Well,
teams
we'll
right
start
now.
there and we'll come back to it.
I think
Yes.
I think it's on the thin grey line.
Yeah, very thin line.
I mean, a
All
lot
right.
of variation there really pushes it up.
Next team.
The
Yosie.
ghost, the goat with the wooloo,
All right.
the goat with the wooloo.
So we got Yoshi's team here, the West Wooloo Lulus. Great name, mind you.
Ghost hasn't read yet.
Oh, all right, Decoats,
Yeah.
I guess this is you. Read it off.
well, I'm reading it. Listen,
Yeah,
you,
you
got,
are.
you got a big
Say the
dog.
mons.
Whoa.
Come on.
No, your
Fine,
turn.
Fine. All right, we have the West Wooloo Lulus. Okay, coached by Yosie456.
Literally just saying what I just said. Wow.
Okay, dog, I'm running it now. Okay, huh? You gonna interrupt me again next time?
Anyway,
All right, we got Great Tusk, Ninetales, Jirachi, Cresselia, Mimikyu, Gastrodon, Armarouge, Mantine, Jumpluff, Lavani, Roaring Moon, Wooloo. Terra types on Mantine are going to be Water, Ground, Electric. Jumpluff's Terra types are Flying, Steel, Fairy. And Lavani's Terra types is grass, water, poison.
So when we were talking about Sun teams earlier, about secret Sun teams, this is a definitive Sun team.
This is not a secret Sun team. This is a Sun team.
This is a scary Sun team, mind you. You got Chlorophyll on the Vanny. You have just a lot of fire types. And Jump Puff gets it too. I just goes to show what I know.
Jump Puff outspeeds essentially the entire.
Yeah, Jump Puff is so fast, and it can Terra and Chlorophyll. Whoo!
Yeah, so it's very, very, very threatening Sun team here. Especially with Armor Rouge and Sun, you get up a weakness policy, weak armor, whatever you want to do. Unless you have priority, I think it'll run through a team. That team, thank God it's not able to Terra, because Terra Grass with Terra Blast, then there's nothing that could stop it at that point.
Thank God they don't have any
a grace period pickup.
Thank God they don't have any psychic terrain either.
Yeah, true. No psychic terrain.
Armor should fully sweep then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we have to mention that originally this team had a Furret on it, but then
lost
out of
the
nowhere
to pick up a Roaring Moon.
Yeah, Roaring Moon was picked up in place of Furret, and that is
10 minutes before the 24-hour grace period ran out.
Yep. It was a very, very strange pickup and a very scary pickup, because that just makes this team even more horrifying, in my opinion. You have two very fast, very strong Mons on a Sun team.
Two very good Sun abusers. Two very Paradox Sun abusers. The other thing that this team does, we talked about this a little bit with, was it Nin's team? With Raxos' team. This team can run Trick Room. It's got two Trick Room setters, and so it's got two modes it can run. You can either run a Sun mode or a Trick Room mode. And so having to prepare for both of those, I think, is going to be difficult. Because if all of a sudden Yosie starts to bring Cresselia and Mimikyu, that's a whole lot different than preparing for Ninetales and maybe Jump Puff.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. And I think Levani's a good sleeper pick too, especially with Chlorophyll and the Terra type.
I think it gets webs too. I think
it does. Webs. It does get webs.
So webs on top of the Sun, yeah.
Alongside setup moves like Swords Dance with a 107 attack stat, it's nothing to sleep at in its strength.
No. And especially since it could easily shed that 4x weakness and get a resist with water if you try to click a fire move in front of it.
Something I want to add.
Pretty good
184 speed as well.
Yeah. I'm trying to become a hater again. I kind of wish instead of Mantine we got Mimikyu Terra.
I agree. Mimikyu Terra would be better.
I understand why Mantine, like, you're using it as like a defensive pivot, so ground electric, so you can soak up those hits. But like, it's already really tanky as is, and you can already switch out into Gastrodon or something, like, or Great Tusk if you have to. If you're expecting an electric move, but like Mimikyu being able to tear to different types.
I mean, Ghost Fairy is already good. Yeah.
That's the thing, though.
Getting a third type.
I've spoken to this person many times. The difference is, as you said, Mantine has a 4x weakness to electric in a normal game. If you don't have Gastrodon, that can be game ending.
True.
And Mimikyu has just a very good typing with 2 immunities, or 3 immunities actually. Like, sometimes it's worth not having the Terra just to exploit your original typing.
That is very true. I agree with you there. I think Jirachi as well on this team. We haven't spoken about Jirachi yet. Jirachi with Serene Grace, Meteor Mash, Body Slam. Good luck doing anything if you get paralyzed. And good luck. Good freaking luck. Power to you if you break through it. And a flinch from Ironhead. Not to mention a potential attack boost from Meteor Mash.
I mean, Serene Grace is always scary. And on Jirachi, it's always... I mean, that's one that's like you can always choose your way through.
Yep.
I will say, I'm a little scared for dark type moves.
Dark type does run through this team.
I mean, obviously, you still got a Great Tusk and Roaring Moon, but besides those two, Dark is hitting everything for neutral, super effective. So a little scared of maybe a Darkrai that can have Ice Beam as well. So definitely something to consider when she team builds for sure.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, I guess that's what the Terra Fairy on Jump Puff is for.
Right.
I
True.
don't know how well Jumpluff can sponge attacks like that.
Straight
But,
sap.
Jump is
Fast strength sap.
I mean,
Strength
strength sap is
Strength
really
sap
big.
is
Strength sap, substitute leech seed.
I would put this in B.
I think then that's also
I
a B.
definitely agree this is B. But
I
I
think
think
it's-
it's
I think this is gonna be a low A actually. Now that I
Low
revisit the team, I think this could be a low A.
You know what? Yeah, I could give it a low A.
I
Just
mean,
the fact that it's a very heavy Sun team. You're gonna
Yeah,
get put it
it's a
above
team
Rex.
that doesn't
Is
have to be a
interesting.
Sun team though, because you still got sticky web support. You know, as we
Sticky
said,
webs.
you still got very good
or
speed
Trick Room.
tiers.
Yep.
You have Jirachi Scarf, stuff like that. Like you have different ways to win. You know what I'm saying? There's different win cons here. It's just how do you play it out?
Are we
Yeah,
agreeing
I can
with
see
this
this being a
order
low
right
A.
now?
It's
I'm
definitely
vibing.
it's definitely already a fast team without the addition of chlorophyll.
Yep.
It's not like she's
Exactly.
bringing.
Exactly.
It's not like she's bringing Venusaur and Blossom with their like 85 and
Yep.
50
Yeah,
speed.
exactly.
This is 92 and 110.
All right, let's go to the next team. I'm very excited about this team. I'll read it off.
Nomad. OU Incarnate.
Nomad. OU Incarnate. This team right off the
OU.
gate is
The GOAT.
horrifying. You just wait
I
till you
said
hear
we're
what I have
hard
to say.
meta slaving.
Yeah, so Nomad is rocking Iron Valiant, Golden Go, Gliscor, Volcarona, Lycanroc Dusk, Serena, Mesprit, Lantern, Stuntank, with Terra Captains in Zygarde 10% with the types Ground, Normal, Steel, Chargebug with Electric, Water, and Flying, and Komala with Normal, Ghost, and Fairy. This team right out of the gate is S in my opinion.
Okay, no. First off, we got to talk about one thing
We got to
that
talk
is
about
gonna
it.
probably be changed next league. Terra Normal Zygarde.
Definitely 100% is
Yep,
getting dead next league.
He
Didn't
picked
even
that up in
consider it.
grace period. We let
Oversight
that
on
one.
our end.
We let that
should
one
not
slip through.
allow-
Terra Normal E-Speed is gonna be a menace.
Especially on that thing. It has great attack. But this is a very scary team. One thing I was telling myself in draft when we were drafting, I literally said if this guy gets Hisui and Samurott, this is the
Game
unbeatable
over.
team. He's winning it the whole thing. Because having Gliscor, Golden Go, and Hisui and Samurott, that is such a good core. That really, really is. That is horrifying, it is scary, and not to mention you have a Valiant in the back. But he
Not
didn't
to
get
knock
it.
the team, or not to knock the team that they've made, but that would have been the cherry on the cake.
It
Yeah.
really would have. This team, even without it, this team is horrifying. You have Lantern with Volt Absorb and Water Absorb, Stun Tank. Stun Tank could do a lot. It only has the one weakness. Mesprit, I haven't seen it that much, so I'm curious what it does.
Mesprit,
It's a little
I
more
used
of
to
a
play
supporting
I used to
type
play
mon.
Gen 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Back in Gen 4, it was terrifying for its
Yeah.
support.
Chargebug with the Sticky Web, Komala with the normal Ghost. I mean, you could do a lot with that. Serena, very
Its
fast,
immunity
rapid
to sleep
spin.
is the most important part for
Definitely. Excuse me. Lycanroc Dust, very fast, very strong.
Hits
Volcarona.
hard. Volcarona
This is
does
just-
Volk things.
This is a
Right.
this is a horrifying team in my opinion, and
Yeah.
quite frankly, I'm kind of glad I don't fight
Speed
Nomad.
tiers are good. You don't
I'm very-
either.
It's hard to prep.
I do not
for,
fight
man.
Nomad.
Yeah,
I'm
Decoats.
That's
glad
a
I
hard.
don't fight Nomad
Oh
because
my goodness.
I
Anthony
would just
Don't worry,
lose.
Time
PG.
to-
It's just us.
It's just us.
PG.
This is so sad.
We can do this. Right.
This
I
is the
wanna
team
put
to beat.
forward for this. This is the team to beat. That amazing speed tier as well.
Yeah.
Not to the massive extent of like Raxos, for example, but 116, 115, 110, they're all above the average of most of the heavy hitters. Volcarona sits on the average, and then the rest of them are all pretty good. Things that probably get overlooked as well. Lycanroc, Tough Claws, Accelerock, amazing priority.
Hits hard.
But
Amazing.
the biggest part that, especially in draft, Serena, Queenly Majesty, it cannot be hit by
Can't be
priority.
prioritized.
It cannot be hit by priority, so it's immune to
Yep.
Prankster, and it can't get revenge killed as easily.
They
And it
cannot.
has very good, like, just attacks. I don't believe it gets amazing setup.
And I
But-
think
Doesn't really
it's,
need it. It doesn't need
It
it, in my
doesn't
opinion.
need it. No.
it gets
It's
like
gets
not.
Power
rapid
Whip
spin.
and Play Rough and Rapid Spin. I don't know that it gets Sword Stance.
It gets
So,
high jump kick.
it gets high
It
It
jump
has a
kick.
base. It has a base 120 attack, so that's like already great.
It gets Stomp.
I mean, it's Stomp.
Stomp.
It's Stomp.
I mean, I think
No,
Drop Kick would be
but-
better because it lowers attack, but that's very situational in my opinion.
But
But
also,
Stop how
it
it
gets one of the
evolves.
best
I
parts.
just think that's
it gets
funny.
one of the best parts of draft. It gets aromatherapy.
true,
Oh,
aromatherapy.
I didn't know that.
get rid of all status on your mons, which, quite frankly, what are you going to be able to status and what are you going to want to get rid of? Because Gliscor, you're going to want that Toxic on it. Golden Goat, you can't even status it to begin with.
But a bad burn on a physical Valiant or your Lycan Rock, it doesn't matter. It's gone.
Yeah, that I guess that's the one issue. But in a situation like, I see Lycan Rock as a very solid breaker.
Balance.
We'll just have to see how this team plays out. But genuinely speaking, this is one of the scariest teams in the league, in my opinion.
I do think this is the first S tier.
We got
This is
any
S
hater
tier.
comments?
Any
It's
hater
definitely
comments?
S tier.
I don't think
All
we
right,
do.
here's my hater comment.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
a
a
hater. I'm
hater.
here.
Because I wanted Golden Go and I didn't get Golden Go.
Everyone wanted a Golden Go. Damn it.
That's
if
my
I'm being honest,
hater comment.
my hater comment. I think you could do pretty well with Fire. I think Fire can run through this team pretty decently.
Yeah, Gliscor and
My-
Lantern are your
my-
fire resists, right? I guess
my
Lycan
hate-
Rock.
my
Yeah,
hater
but
comment,
the
I
thing
am
is
a
though, you have
hater.
a lot of Fire types, especially special, have Earth power, so you can kind of
That's
hit
true.
everything pretty decently. Mesprit is gonna have to come in handy, I think, there, and just stick up a lot of neutral hits.
Right.
I do think Lantern being the only water type is also a downfall in of itself because it is weak to ground with that electric typing. I think it's neutral actually. Correct me if
No,
I'm wrong.
it's weak.
No, it's weak.
Okay.
It's weak.
Yeah, so it only really the only water type on the team being Lantern and it being weak to ground when ground could almost pretty easily run through this team when you really look at it, especially if you click Terra Steel on Zygarde. Like it's not looking good. It's not looking good against ground types, but that's something that can be easily played around. If you know
I
what you're
agree,
doing,
and that, I
easily
mean,
play around
like
it.
I'm just being a hater to be a hater, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's
Yeah,
being
you can
haters-
figure-
I mean, this is
Being
an
haters
S tier
are
team.
scared of this
This
team.
is an
We're
S
scared
tier
of this
team.
team.
I mean, it's still an
Horrified
S
of
team,
this
still probably the best team.
This is
My hater
probably an
comment
S
is that
tier.
I have to fight it.
I
True.
feel that.
All right,
well,
next up.
The Ghost.
Pigeon,
All right, Pigeon, how about you read off
Sail.
your team?
Right, this is my team. The Birmingham Bulwarks. We've got the Goats. We've got Gouging Fire, Landorus Incarnate, Superior, Mamoswine, Blastoise, Staraptor, Torkoal, Minior, Hitmontop, Alolan Muck, Jolteon, and Fortress. And the
All right.
Terra types are, for Jolteon, Electric, Ice, Fairy. And for Hitmontop, Fighting, Fairy, Steel.
All right, I'm starting with a hater comment. I got some
I knew
choice
it.
words from you. I got some choice words from you. Pardon my French, but I want everyone to pay attention to this team real quick. I want you to pay attention to
Four
Blastoise,
spinners.
Hitmontop, Torkoal, and Fortress. First of all,
My
they
guy
all
hates
get rapid
Alfred.
spin. You want a rapid spinner in this league? Fat chance. Pigeon has 4 of them. Also, you want a Shell Smasher? Fat chance. He has 3 of them. Minior objectively being the best one on this team. Not to mention Staraptor's a tank. Superior. Landorus Incarnate strong. Gouging Fire. Oh my god. This is the most hyper offensive team I've seen, and I have to fight it at one point, and I'm scared to fight it.
Everyone
I
has
don't,
to fight
nerds.
it to Decoats. Decoats, you got to fight it in the finals.
That's superior.
True.
Superior. Superior
Right,
to
because-
superior things. I'm going to be a superior hater and say that I just don't like that mon. That's all. The
Okay,
end.
right. This is my team. I'll go over
Maybe we should talk about some good things, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Good things.
No,
All right,
yeah,
let's talk
yeah.
about
This is a good team.
a good, amazing team. You know, hater comments aside, let's get the hater talk out of the way. Let's actually look at the positives of this team because this is a good team right here. Jolteon with those Terra types is phenomenal. You get Bolt Beam coverage right out of the
Bolt
gate.
beam.
Hitmontop, if it's like 11 million priority moves, those 3 types, I'm perfect for it. You get boosted Mach Punches, boosted Bullet Punches.
Technician
Fairy's
boosted,
just gonna-
not Terra boosted. We
Yeah,
learned that
Technician
the other
boosted.
day.
Yes, we did learn that the other day. Fairy's just good for that general, like, bulk, because, this thing's weak to Fairy. So that could be obviously the issue. But, you go Terra Fairy, you're fine. Mammo with Ice Shard, Mamoswine's a menace. Sheer Force on Lando Incarnate, which, that's not banned either. So you're always going to run Life Orb on that thing, so that thing's also going to hit like a truck.
Also, just as
Minior,
an additional comment to what you said earlier, Hitmontop has 5 priority options.
well, it's very close. Well, 500
Bullet-
million,
Five?
what's the difference?
Five?
Bullet Punch, Fake Out, Feint, Mach Punch, Sucker Punch, and Vacuum Wave.
Okay, who's
6.
using? Okay, first off, who's using Vacuum Wave and who's using Fate? Come on now.
It still has them.
Okay.
Anyway.
Hey man, maybe you hit into a especially weak Pokemon.
Alolan Muck is really good. It's got that ground type. You got Fortress, obviously, which I wanted that. I was gonna pick it up in Grace, but then someone said, no, I need another Rapid Spinner.
This is just becoming SDxPigeon slander, and I want nothing out of it.
This is a
Well,
good team. We're all friends
Yeah,
here, so
we're all friends here. We're all
making
friends
fun
here.
of
We
each
got
other.
we have to justify that we're all friends here. We all love the banter of one another. Before we started recording here, I was calling Decoats here a little rat. His little name's Ratcoats. Feel free to call him that in the comments. Back to the
Okay, if
team
I
though. We're
you
talking about
will get
Pokemon.
banned if you
Rat
call me a
Ratcoats,
rat in the
shush.
comments. Just know this.
Blastoise gets Gen 1 Syndrome, amazing diverse move pool. Minior, Shell Smash, Torkoal for the Sun. You can set up Sun, benefit your Gouging Fire, or Gouging Head as I like to call it. And just you weaken Water, which Water does pretty alright into this team, but it'll do even worse with Sun up. You do have to watch for Fire, because Fire does kind of go through it. Not all the Mons, but a good chunk of Mons. Fortress obviously being the 4 times weak, but it's 4 times weak to Fire. It's not weak to anything else.
This wasn't supposed to be a Sun team, I want to point out. I just want to say that Decoats convinced Sam to pick up Torkoal, and I'm a little miffed
both
about it.
did.
That's all.
I think you
All
both
right,
have convinced them.
I'm going to talk about something a little different right now. Objectively, your speed tiers, Sam, fantastic. Absolutely great. They're really spread out. So it's really hard to like min max EVs against you. Jolteon's a fantastic Terra captain.
Yeah.
Overall, yeah, like your team also you have stuff that could be defensive or offensive. You know what I'm saying? Like Blastoise can be, if it's a Shell
Blastoise.
Smasher or Assault Vest, stuff like that. Staraptor could be like, I could see a bulky defogger, maybe.
Is it really a tank? I really thought it was an offense guy, but I don't
It
know
kind of really
Staraptor that
is.
well.
But,
It gets
depending on
Intimidate as well.
exactly Intimidate, stuff like that. I mean, you have a core and a Alola Muck and Fortress that like synergize super well with each other. Overall, like your team is very good with the picks that you have.
Definitely, I agree there. Your team is very well crafted. You did a very great job with managing your points to get exactly what you wanted, to get the power you
I'd
needed
hope
and the
so.
bulk you needed.
I'd hope so after the years of sitting in a basement,
Yep.
tinkering, and I think me and Machete, I think I'd send him about 11 different potential teams. What if I
I
do
was
this?
sent.
What
I
if I do
would
this?
be working. I would be working at my little office job, minding my own business, trying to get through the day, and I would just get a buzz on my phone, and it would just be Pigeon over here, just going. I built a new team because I don't like the idea of having this one Pokemon, and instead of finding a decent substitute, I just changed the whole thing. But the first mod always at the top was Gouging Fire, so
Except
I
for the
knew
one
deep
where it
down.
wasn't Gathering Fire.
True, except for the one time it wasn't.
When PG dropped that long shelter mode of, hey, I'm
And
I
taking
wanted
Gathering
Gouging
Fire.
Fire at one point. I changed my mind.
yeah,
Damn straight you did.
but I always knew he was going to get Gouging Fire, and I was hoping and praying that I would be before him in draft order so I could grab it and hold it over him. Because I like
Yeah,
being
you did
evil
that to
like that.
someone else, huh?
Oh, we'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. Overall, I think it's time to rank this team. I think we've said all we wanted to say, unless there's anything else you want to add in, anyone?
It's an awful tier.
This is our second
It
take.
is.
Yesterday, I think we put this at an A tier, like high
Yeah,
to
I
mid
think
A.
it's definitely a high A in my opinion. I put that above Raxos' team.
I almost want to say bottom of S
Bottom of
after
S.
revisiting it.
Bottom
Let's
of
go.
S.
Bottom
Guys,
of S. Yep. I think that
it's my
this team
team. I
does
say
enough.
D.
It
I say
has
D
enough.
tier.
It has enough different speed tiers, enough things going for it, to where it's hard to prepare for, and he has a lot of options.
It's a
It's a
hyper
bottom
offense
S
team.
team. Yep.
It's a hyper offensive team.
It's not hyper offensive.
It's very hyper offensive, and
It's
you're
not.
coping.
No, it's
It
got
can
some
be
bulk
both.
to it. It can like the
Yeah.
fact that it can do. I mean,
It can be both.
Muck and Fortress in and of itself. If he wants to run a more balanced team, he slaps those two guys on as a core, and bada boom, defense.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to our next coach.
Good old Paps.
All right. Who wants
I'll
to read
read
off
this
this
one.
one?
So,
Okay.
Tapu Koko, not gonna lie, I wanted that one. Tapu Koko, Latios, Mega Lopunny, Pecharunt, excited to see that one.
Very excited.
Iron Jugulus, Marowak
Jugulus.
Alola, Toad's Cruel, Porygon 2, Empoleon, Incineroar, and Greedent. I don't know the Terra type, so Anthony, you read those.
Mind you, this isn't the draft order. We just kind of threw this together, but that's fine. If you want to check out the draft order, we'll have the document linked in the bottom. You'll see all of our matchups. You'll see our board. You'll see everything. I do not mind sharing that with everyone. It is a combination
As
of other
long as
sheets
it's
that
a
are publicly
read-all,
available.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
so
Make it
it's
a
read-all.
fine.
combination of other sheets that are way better and from
Yeah,
people who
very
are
very
way
much
smarter
better at
than
tiering
us.
than us.
Man's up
All right,
making us
so
do work, putting the draft documents
wah,
in the
wah, wah.
description.
Wah,
Oh
wah, wah.
my
And in the
god!
doobly doo. Anyway, he took
Anyway.
Tapu Koko, and I'm sad about it, but that's okay
Yes.
because I pivoted.
The tiara captains here are Toadscruel with Ground Steel Fairy and Alolan Marowak with Ghost, Water, and Fairy.
Marowak's a
Which
really good Terra Captain.
Marowak is a phenomenal Terra Captain with Lightning Rod because you have what, you're just weak to grass
Yeah, at that
Yes.
point.
and you're a fire type. No one's gonna want to switch in a grass type in front of a fire type.
Exactly.
So it essentially has no weaknesses. In theory, it has no weaknesses.
In theory.
But I think this team is
Attack.
this team is very fast, very decently bulky. I'm a bit on the fence with some of these mons, I will say.
Coco
I
and
think-
Latios is going to be hard to deal with, and then you throw in the
Coco and
Megalopony.
Latios.
Like, very
Definitely.
very fast team with his offensive guys, which is really... I'm excited to see that, just because it's a lot of variation, a lot of coverage he can get between those three mons. Like, Coco
Definitely,
itself
100%.
doesn't have coverage, and I don't think Lopunny really does either. Latios gets some, but like between the three of them,
Lopunny doesn't really need coverage though.
yeah,
It's Scrapper.
with Scrappy, exactly. So
Scrappy, it just hits everything like a truck, which is what you want for that
I get
Pokemon.
decent coverage. It gets what it needs.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
curious about Petron because while it doesn't get that much
I
offensive
really
options,
want to see how it does.
it's such a defensive mod at 160 and then everything else at 88, which I remember when this Pokemon was revealed and its stats were leaked, I was like, this is gonna be a nuisance. And everyone's like, nah, you just click Earthquake on it. And then I ran a calc and it lives a great Tusk Booster Energy Earthquake.
Right,
Yeah,
see,
I
this is the
mean,
thing.
yeah.
Your suspicion is valid of Petulant, but I say this now. My suspicion's on that goddamn Greedent.
Honestly,
Why
That
is he
Greedent would be
there?
scary.
Why is he there?
cheek pouch
I'll
citrus
tell-
berry,
Yes.
baby. Cheek pouch
Uh,
citrus berry.
He's cheeked up
Peach-
on a Monday night. How can he do
I'll
it?
tell you what it is. It's gonna be Cheek Pouch, it's gonna be Citrus Berry, it's gonna be Belly Drum, and Trailblaze, and that's
Yeah.
it. You're done. Because even though it has that 20 speed, you click Trailblaze once or twice, depending on what your matchup is. If you're against a slower team, you could sweep. If this was a Terra Captain over maybe Toadscruel, I think that this team would be scary.
It's a scary
Scarier.
mon in Ranbat, so I can see it doing some work.
I've won a few battles in Rambats with this mod. I could say that like wholeheartedly. It is a very scary mod. Jugulus is nothing to
He's got
scoff at.
It does
terrain.
also have stuff cheeks.
He's got
that was the other thing I was
yeah.
trying to remember.
True. I would have liked to see maybe another future paradox. Granted, the other future
They
paradoxes
get
that
taken
were
fast.
all the good future paradoxes were drafted right away. Well,
Hey,
not
man,
really
don't
right away, but
put,
they are
put
taken.
some respect. Put some respect on Mugulus.
Jugulus is going to
Mugulus-
be great.
Mugulus in the last league we played did very well. I was genuinely surprised.
And it's
Good
got
luck hitting
medium window.
hurricanes.
Got great
Got
coverage.
weather everywhere.
Got yeah, still with E-Terrain. Like it just gets
Got
free
medium
boost. Like that's a really
Yeah.
good combo in and of itself.
Free
The
boost
Dark
and you-
Flying
I think something
Electric
that-
Fairy.
Something that we haven't talked about too is that talked about the good side of speed, but the slow side of that speed, dude. This Alolan Marowak Terra into a Trick Room with Porygon 2 teleport. Oh my
Brilliant.
god!
Yeah,
With Dick
we-
Club, this thing can run through some. Like, look, no one look at our Ghost Resist. Who has normal types on their team?
Not
I
many
mean, dude,
people.
not many people, and even then, the ones that do really don't want to take a hit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like,
Especially since most ghost types carry a fighting coverage move.
Yosie with Wooler.
True.
The Wooloo is
Bullet-
going to come into play.
Wooloo with bullet punch. Not bullet punch. Bulletproof. There you go.
And with payback.
True. I think.
but yeah,
I
no,
think
there's you could see two solid ideas with this team.
Yep.
You overrun them with the speed, or you hit them with a Trick Room, and you go from there. I can kind of see where some win cons are at.
this is definitely one of those teams where, to kind of go back to the speed real quick, amazing speed tiers, and what it doesn't have in speed tiers, it has in pure like offensive power and good bulk, or just great bulk in general. Which I think that this is a perfectly balanced team in my opinion. And if we want to rank it right here, right now, nothing else left to say on it. I'd just say put it in A. I think it's a solid A tier team.
I'm leaning more B.
I'm
To be
leaning
honest.
more high tier B.
I too.
If you're leaning, I'm fine with leaning B, but I would definitely put it high B.
He's on.
I think,
on tier with the
guys,
Chels.
hater alert, hater alert coming. Yeah. So like, honestly, he's good. I could see some weaknesses though. It's kind of ground types are kind of mess up this team a little bit.
Yeah, once again,
It's
that common ground type weakness.
he has stuff like Latios, which can take a hit,
With
Jungulus
Levitate's
maybe.
nice.
But then I also think like fighting type, also does really well.
Fighting does run through this team.
I mean, he has so like Petrarant, Alola Marowak, and Latios, Coco. But Coco doesn't like taking a lot of hits. It's gonna have to run a roost, stuff like that. It's just weird. It's just weird because it's fast and it looks good, but at the same time, there's just some issues that I think other mons could have potentially covered up.
This
So.
thing is
Definitely.
very specifically weak to Great Tusk.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is
B.
I just looked it up and I never realised Great Tusk is the only ground and fighting
Somewhere
type.
around here.
Yep. I put it in B.
Yeah.
It was the first ground and
It's a
fighting
high
type.
B, I think.
High B.
I think it's a
Definitely
high
high
B.
B. High B.
Hubba.
Yeah.
It's either going to be low A or high B. I think high B is perfect though.
I think right there's perfect.
Hubba.
All right.
All right. I'll do this one because this is
Anthony.
me.
Machete.
Wow, just go and dox me, why don't you?
All right. Is your name not out there? We'll cut that.
It's not. Well, it is now.
I'm not gonna cut that.
Yep.
I'm not gonna edit.
All right, so this is my team. I'm the total annihilation because I'm a monkey. Ook.
Dude, why'd you say my fucking joke, asshole?
I told you that joke.
Say that.
I'm the one who told you that joke.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we've made this entire thing without swearing.
True.
There's a little bit earlier,
Oh,
but it's okay.
I said the fuck word earlier.
We're PG-13.
The fuck word?
Yep,
Kids,
well, not
cover
anymore.
your
Now we're not
ears.
PG-13. Anyway, let's get to the
Nightmare.
let's get to
Nightmare.
the
Kids.
team. I want to talk about my team. Damn it! All right, so I went with
Anyway, next
Garchomp.
team.
I'm going to skin you.
There's a Garchomp. There's a Tornadus Therian.
I'll do it.
Okay, go.
All right, so I picked up Garchomp, Tornadus T, Iron Hand, Magnezone, Shaman, Tapu Fini, Galarian Slowking, Glastrier as one of my Terra Captains with Ice Electric and Fairy, Driftblim with Ghost Fighting and Fairy, Hisuian Typhlosion, Dunsparce, and Murkrow. I was very flippy floppy with this team in Grace Period, and that was
Yes,
because
you
I
are.
was both at a party and I was under the influence of alcohol. So
Why do they need to know this? Why do they
because
need to
I
know
had to
this?
explain myself because I did
What?
so
They're
many
never gonna
Grace
know that.
Period trades. I did so many Grace
He
Period
did a lot
trades.
of trades. We made fun of him
I
for
forgot,
it.
you guys know that meme? Wait, time. You guys know that meme where the guy's in the corner and he's like, yeah, he doesn't know I'm wearing like $1,000 Balenciaga, and everyone's in the room like, yeah, we kind of know what he's doing. That's Machete with like Pokemon. He's just in the corner like, my draft. Everyone's just like, what the fuck is he doing?
Nobody.
Like,
That's the thing. You don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing. And I think that was a fun little thing to mess around with. I dropped Magnezone. Who else did I drop? I dropped Magnezone a bunch.
You had Probopass at some point. Hold on.
I had Probopass.
Let me pull up the chat. Let me pull up the chat.
No, we
and
don't
see.
we don't do that.
Yeah.
I traded a
We
lot.
do
I
have
did a lot of
little
trades,
I'll
but
look for it.
I settled on this team. I'm very happy with this team, and I know you'll look at it and you'll look at the speed
Oh,
tiers.
Spidops? Alright, let's talk about Spidops. You had Spidops and then you dropped it. He was going to be the linchpin of your plans, and then you dropped him, so I just want that out there.
I have my reasons.
The Spidops betrayal is all
let the
I'm
man
saying.
talk, guys.
Let the man talk. You've been cutting me off the entire team thing, and I do not appreciate it. You gotta be nice to me right now.
Anyway.
Shut up. Never mind.
Anyway, as I was saying,
you.
my team isn't not on the fast side, and I'm aware of that. But what I don't have in speed, I have in pretty damn good bulk. Glastrier has an amazing HP stat, amazing defenses. Shaman, yeah, it's just pure grass, but it's 100 in everything. Very bulky steel type in Magnezone, very bulky defensive Mon Iron Hand. Glow King, I mean, I could run that either which way, in all honesty. Driftblim, same thing. Hisuian Typhlosion, not so much in the fences, but Dunsparce with Eviolite. I wish we had more points so I could Terra it, and I think maybe down the line I will swap Terras and make it so Dunsparce can be at my Terra captain, but I'm not sure yet. Tapu Fini, obviously, very good Water Fairy type. This thing was annoying for me to deal with last league. It was, if I just played better, I would have definitely been able to deal with it. But I think overall my team is pretty strong,
It's
pretty bulky. And I think what I'm going to have fun with is just wearing down people with this team.
I think you were tired of my quote-unquote hyper offense. So you
Your hyper offense annoyed me.
This is
So I
definitely
wanna
got to be
make-
bulky.
I want to
This
make
is-
two observations. One, he's clearly an SPL watcher.
I love SPL. I love Joey Pokey Aim.
Glacier, the Terriers are fantastic.
Joey.
Drifloom, super sleeper. If you haven't been watching
Hit me up
Chimpact, you
and
probably
say so.
should be this season because
He's good.
Chimpact is great.
He doesn't want to
Chimpact
make it
is
too
very, very
good.
And
funny.
second point, I really want to say because I forgot about talking about this yesterday too. You have a great trick room too.
Definitely a great trick room.
I mean, it's Glacier, Slowking, like they don't share weaknesses. In fact,
and chili
Slowking
reception.
and chili reception.
I
I
don't
didn't
even have to
realize
Terra.
that yesterday either, and now I'm looking at it
Yeah.
and I'm like, man, the
I'm
ice,
looking at it again, and I'm like,
the ice support
you
is
know,
gonna be nice.
And also, it's not like you have the worst speed tiers. You still have, very elite speed Mon and Tornadus T. You still have Guard Trap Shaman. So it's not the worst type of speed tiers either. On your top side. Overall, it's very, very diverse. I'd say.
Definitely, I'm glad that you've noticed that. I definitely did a Castnet team here. I very much like Castnet teams more than general gimmick teams because while general gimmick teams are strong, I feel like once you break that gimmick, that's when it kind of falls apart a bit. But generally speaking, usually it just works out. Everything goes good. And oh, goodbye.
I
Can
don't
you
know
still
who
hear me?
left. Yeah, I can
was,
hear you.
hello.
It was
You're still
Pigeon.
being
He said,
recorded.
okay, Pigeon's computer crashed.
Oh, sad. Okay, I'm sure he'll be
All right,
back.
we'll keep on going for him. This is
Yeah,
dedicated
but,
to Pigeon now.
But I definitely think my team. Well, I look at the matchups are out there. We know the matchups, and I have a very scary season in front of me, and I don't see myself making it to playoffs. I'm going to try my damnedest to make it to playoffs. So if you're investing in Machete stocks, shout out to my UMPL B League folks. Invest in Machete stock because you never know where it's going to go, and it can only go up.
It only goes down.
Nope, don't listen to him. He's British.
True.
The only thing that's going down is the T in the Boston Harbor. What can I say?
Damn, you really
Amen, brother. Amen. Hey, I was gonna hate on you, but never mind.
I really want to see
You guys
Prankster
really
Murkrow
still
do some
holding on
work.
to that one victory.
I definitely want to have some fun with Prankster
Prankster
Murkrow.
Murkrow, like that's a VGC thing, but I'm excited to see what we can do in singles with it. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Prankster
I
Murkrow
definitely
is
wanted
gonna
to
be
start
fun.
off Prankster Mon this season, and I think I just think the team also complements each other very well. Things that would kill some of these faster Mons easily get eaten by these slower, bulkier Mons, and it's just a matter of getting the reads right, not getting stuck in my own head, my own loop of things. That happens a lot with me. I overpredict like 5 turns ahead when the answer is just literally click Earthquake, even if he switches into a flying type. I'm not gonna particularly rank my team, so you guys put it wherever you think, and I'll fight you on it or cry in my room. Okay, you know what? I guess I'm crying today.
Me, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, you're lucky there isn't a Z tier, motherfucker. I would be
Yeah.
going down there.
There?
No, but like,
I think I'm worthy of a high A.
I think.
No, yeah,
I
you're
think
the highest of
medium
A.
A.
You're the highest of A.
I think medium to high A is a good one.
I think I like
at
your.
least deserve a high A.
I think your team has enough variety where you could put it in A.
A lot of
You
variety.
have different win cons. You have a different.
Garchomp and the Tornadus.
You have different win cons. Like I was saying, like you have Guard Chomp, Tornadus, Iron Hands that could do stuff, and your Terra types are good. Drifloom, Glastrier. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to prep for. I think you don't have like a super glaring weakness. Well, I mean,
Some
ice
speed.
kind of, not really though.
Yeah.
Iron Hand eats a lot of ground type hits, regardless. Like,
Oh, we ran the calc. A +2 Excalibur cannot kill Iron Hands with EQ.
yep.
Iron Hands
Very
can
true.
easily kill it, especially after a weakness policy.
But we haven't calced Life Orb, so you're wrong.
Well, they haven't calced Choice Band. They haven't calced the.
Sugar Berry.
I haven't count the Shuckleberry, even though I'm clicking. I could run Shuckleberry on this thing. You're
Yeah.
thinking Choppleberry for yourself
Anyway.
with a clicking Drain Punch in front of a Excalibur.
Anyway.
Anyway, let's move on.
Gemiosini.
All right, I think it's Decoats is
Why'd
time
you
to
say
read.
it like that?
I don't know.
All right, bro.
It
We got
feels
the
Italian.
Dragonair's wings. Okay. This
Placeholder.
coached by.
Placeholder.
How do you
logo.
say? Yo, Machete, can you say his name?
Gemiosini.
Yeah, Gemiosini. He
Gemiosini.
got Iron Bundle, Ogre-Powered Heartflame, Dragonite, Corviknight, Clodsire, Clefable, Gengar, Rotom Fan, Mega Absol, Shuckle, Pikachu, Rattata. His Terra types for Rotom Fan are Electric, Steel Fairy. He has Shuckle Terra types as Rock, Ground, Fighting, and his Pikachu Terra types as Electric, Water, Flying. I just want to make a quick point that Pikachu, being a Terra, is actually
really
hype
good. It gets lightning
and
rod.
not as bad as niggas. I think a lot of people are going to sleep on that. I think he even might
Light
sleep
ball.
on that. But I think that thing could come in clutch.
Yeah.
I think
Light Ball raises its special attack to above Raichu's.
yes. I think definitely Pikachu might outshine Rotom Fan, and both of them being Terra Captains is crazy because any SPL fans out there who watch Uzi, he's running Rotom Fan with these exact Terra types, and it's power to him because these are the best Terra types for it. You run Electric, you have no weaknesses. You run Steel, your only weakness is Fire for the most part, so you can just switch on out of that. You run a Choppleberry, it's not going to do that much, or you can run Fairy. If you want to deal with fighting types like that, Rotom Fan's a very good Terra type, and I think Terra is the saving grace for our double ground immune friend here. I also think that
I
the
was
team
gonna say,
in general.
I don't know that it
Rotom
needs help per se, but
was a
it's
snipe on me. I really wanted Rotom Fan because I seen how easy did it. And I mean, at the end of the day, Rotom Fan is still an appliance. They all have the same,
really good. It's still
Yes.
a Rotom.
same
It's still
base
Rotom
point
at the
value.
end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's a Nat Dex, so it gets defog and stuff like that back.
Yes, very fun moves that it needs.
And then let's talk about speed tiers. Obviously Bundle,
Bundle.
fast as hell, right?
Always a
Only
pain
has
to
to worry
deal
about
with.
hitting Hydros really. Like its coverage and freeze dry Hydro Pump. I don't think is there a type that actually stops that?
I think like Lapras does. I think it's like the one
Yeah.
Pokemon, but between Hydro Pump and Freeze Dry, nothing else resists it. But it's stuff like Lapras, Water
The
Absorb.
only thing I could think of is like Dugong.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's not
Outside of that, there's nothing
that
else.
really
It's the unresisted
stops this.
combination, and it's fast. It can run
Maybe-
Booster, or it can run Scarf to be the fastest thing on the field. Yeah, it's a
Boots.
menace.
Stuff like that. Like it really, sky's the limit for this mon. Ogre Prawn Heartflame, obviously,
the same. Not as
an
fast,
absolute.
but
It's also coverage wise, it's really hard to dodge grass, fire
yep.
with a lot of things. Plus, I mean, it has a pretty diverse move pool. You can learn a bunch of
Ogerpon's a
different types.
monster.
Yeah. He has Dragonite for E-Speed, and obviously set up. I mean, if you don't have a Fairy type and this thing is Banded Outrage, good luck. You know what I'm saying? Like, with multi-scale, you're not going to one-shot it. It's going to probably take a few mons with it. So,
Definitely. I think having 2 unaware mons and Clefable and Clodsire is going to be annoying. We mentioned that before with Deadlock's team. Double unaware is something. It's just tricky to prepare for, especially since they complement each other very well if their defenses, the two.
Good offense, good defense. All very good mods.
What are you yawning? Who said you could yawn?
We've been making this PowerPoint for 3 hours and then recording for another hour. I'm tired.
We're almost done. We're speeding through this. I think
How do you think I feel?
I know.
I think the weirdest weirdest thing right here is the Terra Captain on Shuckle. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong.
my thing is,
I think
with
it just made
Shuckles.
sense with his points. Like, we were talking
Yeah.
about this,
Yeah.
and it's like, what else could he Terra? I guess the Rattata, if he wanted to try some sort of Terra into Fear to get extra turns, but, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Shuckle also works to try to get extra hazards and stuff up. Maybe dodge a Rapid Spin. Did he get
Definitely.
Ghost Terra? I forget.
Oh, he does not have Ghost Terra.
Well, yeah.
But he does have the Ghost typing Gengar, which Gengar very fast. You can run it as a lead, get up like a T-Spikes if you want, depending on your matchup.
I just want to say a sleeper pick, Mega Absol.
It's
It's
faster
just
than I
points.
thought.
It
It's
is
115.
fast. It is very fast. Oh, not very fast. It's fast though. Has base 150 attack. I thought it was a fairy type. I thought it was fairy dark. Turns out it's just dark type. Game Freak dropped the ball there.
Yeah, they
First
kinda
Dark
did.
Fairy was the
But it
Grimstar was on.
has a pretty decent move pool where it gets like good enough coverage that you can bring it to a game or two. I think.
Yeah, because you can do like
It
physical
has
and
sucker
special
punch
moves.
priority.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty nice. Exactly. It's also special. I think its special is 115. Or no, maybe. Let me look at it.
It can run
I
like
forget what it was.
flamethrower or fire blast or whatever, and like I think it gets like ice beam and stuff. So it gets, and I think like thunderbolt too. Like it
Yeah,
gets
it is
some weird
115
coverage.
special. Oh my god,
Yeah,
this
it's
thing
one
is
of
like
those early mons, one of those early gen bonds where it just gets like, oh, it needs coverage. Here's just a slew of moves.
yeah, no, yeah, it gets ice beam, thunderbolt, hex, fire, flamethrower. Yeah, it just gets a
It
lot.
It's
gets
weird
everything.
coverage.
It
Definitely
gets
a
a
sleeper
lot.
pick.
So
Very Gen 1 feeling almost too. There's a lot of Gen
it
1
is.
mons there. Which that's nothing to that's cool. That's always fun.
So and it gets magic bounce too, which is like kind of like you're not really gonna use it, but I
Magic
could.
bounce.
You know what? If we see it in play though, it's pretty
It's
hype.
kind of like Mega Diancie in that way, where it gets it once it Mega evolves, and it's like you just
Yeah.
can't click some moves in front of it. Helps prevent
So we're
like hazard or status.
definitely. So where do we want to put this team? I think it definitely has a few weaknesses. It definitely has a few. Gengar not having levitate is pretty unfortunate. So it does give him a very decent ground weakness. Ground does kind of
I
it
think
kind of does and doesn't do numbers on this team.
I think
I think rocks do well against them.
I think
Rocks
high
go
bay.
crazy. I'd say high B. Maybe not as high as a Papcoon's team, but definitely high B. We can rearrange that later.
Sounds good to me.
All right, moving on. Grovyle. I can read this one off because you go.
I go
kind
next.
of
Yeah.
Yeah, you go next. The first slide was our draft
Oh.
order, so it's no surprise on the
What
order.
about Sam?
Unless
Why
you,
can't Sam read it?
would you like to go, Sam?
I don't mind doing it.
Do it,
Okay.
Yeah,
Sam.
there
You
you go.
got this.
No pressure.
This is the Garden Grovyle. Now, this is the Garden Grovyles by Grovyle, starting with Tapu Lele, Cinderace, Glimora, Hydreigon. Oh, I never remember how to say this one.
Alomola Mola.
Alola Mola, Iron, Iron Boulder, Steptile, Mega Sharpedo, Sandy Shocks, Orthworm, and Galarian Articuno. The Terra types are. Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? The Terra types are Sceptile with Grass, Fire, and Flying, and Orthworm with Steel, Electric, and Ghost.
All right. I am a big Grovyle fan. We've been buddies for a while now,
And
and
I'm a big Grovyle hater.
you are a big Grovyle hater. You hate
I've
everyone though.
never spoken to him.
The first draft league
We're
I
gonna
ever
keep it
did,
that way.
me and him were partnered in it. We played against each other. We did pretty well against one another. Last league we did it together. I beat him pretty hard. I didn't mean to beat him pretty hard, but I was also trying to recover from 2-6-0s back to back. So there was
He
that.
needed it. He
I,
needed it.
but
Anyway, terrain
No
I
team.
think
mercy.
I
He's got a
think
good
this
terrain
team
team.
very good terrain team in my opinion. Psychic terrain is one of those terrains where if you don't know what it does, it trips you up. The amount of times I've seen people get tripped up by psychic terrain thinking it's misty terrain and vice versa is insane. And I think with this team, it definitely plays into it very well, especially since, hey, look, there's an Unburdened Sceptile. Hey, look, there's an Iron Boulder.
Bootleg Roaring Moon
Oh,
Bootleg
hey, look,
Roaring
there's a
Moon.
Mega Sharpedo. You can't Mach Punch.
that
It's
you
gonna
can't
get
Yep.
Mach
free speed
Punch.
boost. Like,
Yeah.
You have a Lola Mola for good wish support. You have Sandy Shocks for that additional coverage. You have Hydreigon. I mean, Hydreigon,
Yeah.
it has many weaknesses. Don't get me wrong.
So, going back
But
to the original format we did the start of this, the speed tiers are fantastic.
fantastic speed tiers. The fact that his speed tiers kind of only drop off around Glimora, which is like he has what 11 mons on his team. They begin to drop off a bit at the night. The mon is insane, and then the last two only being 65. Which Alola Mola, you don't need the speed. It's always better to have slow speed on a bulky support mon like that for
That slow
slow flip
flip
turn,
turn. Slow
slow flip
slow
turn, shit like
momentum
that.
move.
And then Orthworm with the Terra Ghost can be scary because then there's your Rapid Spin blocker. And Terra Electric, you have no weaknesses if you were running Earth Eater.
Which you have
But
to.
it's even better than having no weaknesses because you actually heal off the ground
That's
as well.
true. Yep.
So it's even better
Earth
than
Eater is.
levitate.
I hope Earth Eater
It is a
is given
straight
to more
upgrade to
Pokemon.
levitate.
Definitely.
Yes.
100%.
But that's the other thing with this team as well. His two fastest mons are arguably constantly faster than that. Because Boulder's booster energy most
Yep.
likely will go for speed.
Even without booster energy,
and-
like once it's used, it still hits like 380 something. But
Unveil
it's kind of same with
on its
Sceptile.
Sceptile and Mega Sharpedo, for the first time it comes out, depending on how he plays it, he can get a few speed boosts.
Yep.
Yes, we do have a rule in this league where you do not have to type Mega turn 1, and I'm
You
keeping
don't
a
have
very
to
close
mega
eye
at
on
all.
that. You don't have to mega at all,
You have to
technically.
run the Mega Stone, but you don't have to mega at all. So if he wants to
Yes.
keep it as a regular Sharpedo, he technically can to always get the speed boost.
Yeah, he could do some cheeky little plays if he finds a way and get like 2 or 3 speed boosts up, and then decide to mega and then just go crazy on someone's team. And then like there's no stopping it at that point because it gets the strong jaw boost to all of its biting moves and stuff like that. Especially depending on if it's a very weakened team. Cinderace and Glamora are pretty good. Good
They're
hazard.
annoying. They're
They are
so
very annoying.
annoying
And
together.
the other thing is too, and nothing switches into a banded Pyro Ball from Cinderace. I am sorry, even water types are taking a good chunk, like at least 40 to 50. Cinderace
I
is just
think
one of those annoying mons.
his team is very HO. He doesn't
Definitely.
really take a lot of hits, so like with his speed tiers, he's gonna just have to deal a lot of damage. And Tapu Lele makes it so priority doesn't matter. You know,
It doesn't.
it actually like overall this team composition really works. And
Definitely works.
Lele is the glue that holds it together. I could see ice spinners or defogs being very important to get rid of terrain.
100%. You do definitely want to be able to clear that terrain. Otherwise, this team's going to do numbers to you, and you can't do anything back to it. Especially since you need that priority to deal with this team. Like, there's only 2 Pokemon with decent speed, and when I say decent speed, I mean low speed. Only 2 Pokemon with low speed, and they're very bulky. So, like, you want that priority to hit, like, a weakened Boulder, weakened Sceptile, weakened Cinderace, weakened anything, really, and not being able to do that because Psychic Terrain's up, that could cost you a game.
Yeah, I guess the problem is that his sweepers, or like Boulder and Sceptile, they don't hit hard off the bat. Like, great speed tiers, but like priority might not be necessary just because it takes some time to really get going. Kind of same with Sharpedo, and he's wasting terrain terms all that time. So
that is very true.
It's
I don't know how this works. So Galarian Articuno is a flying type, right? So it can get sucker punched because it's off terrain. How does expanding force work when it uses it? Does it still get the boost, or does it have to be grounded to get the boost?
I'm going to check the move right now.
That was my only thing.
The damage of a Psychic Terrain gets boosted if all opposing Pokemon are on Psychic Terrain, so he doesn't even have to be touching it.
Is that how expanding force works?
Yep, I just read it right now on Pokemon
Oh,
Database.
it's the reverse of whatever the electric one is. No, the electric terrain, the target has to be grounded or something. Rising voltage.
Yeah.
I forget.
Target has to be grounded.
I always forget. Like they're the reverse of each other, and it's a little stupid.
I think that's my one complaint for this team is that the Galarian Articuno isn't the Terra because it might need it in some instances. But I think that expanding force revelation is definitely going to be in play. I think
definitely gonna matter.
If you're up against Grovyle, all I could say is be scared because it's a very fast team, very bulky team, very strong team. Only downside is it does need to get going, but you could run booster energies if on your Paradox Bonds. You could run Psychic Seed, Unburdened, Terraflying Sceptile for those acrobatics that hit like trucks. I mean, you don't even need to set up at that point then.
I still think you're going to need to on somebody like Sceptile. I think its special attack is higher.
I think so too.
It's not that high though.
It's one of those. Any Pokemon before Gen 3 sometimes suffers from that. Oh, there's no physical special split. We're going to give it high special attack because grass moves are special, and then we're not going to give it any special moves or physical moves when, we fix that or give it a buff. I'm still angry about Meganium, Game Freak. You could have fixed it. You could have made it good.
I think the biggest downside to this team is that it needs to get going. Like,
definitely
nothing really hits that hard off the bat. which giving your opponent turns is going to be rough. Otherwise, like, you're just kind of hitting like a paper towel, which is going to be sad. So, good team comp otherwise, I would say.
Let's go ahead and rank it. I think we kind of said what we said.
Yeah, I think it's time to rank this team. We've spoken on it. I put it in A. Where in A? I'm not
You
too
put
sure.
it in A?
I
It's
think low A, high B.
Low A.
I'm
Low A.
asking. Okay, low A. Okay, we can put it on a. Okay, we gotta rearrange the tiers later.
Yeah.
Okay.
We
I
can
say
leave
keep
it
it in
there
low A for
now.
right now, and we'll see once we get to the rest of these teams. All right, PG.
My team. So, I wanted to do an E-Terrain team. Tapu Koko got taken. I pivoted to Rain. Pretty standard Rain team, all things considered. Archaludon, Iron Treads, Greninja, Pelipper, Mega Swampert, Raging Bolt, Hatterene, Kilowattrel, Flygon. Who did I steal? Oh, Raging Bolt. He was free by round 6.
dinosaur.
It wasn't a
The
steal at that
dinosaur.
point.
Yuffie.
Quillfish, Hisui, and Cutiefly. Listen, you drafted Superior, so I think it's only fair I took one of the
True.
one of the dinos.
Yes, man, hates the fucking snake.
I mean, I built this around Rain. I grabbed a few options for if I either didn't want to run Rain or if I wanted to, if I felt like one of my Mons wasn't going to do well even with Rain. So I have a couple things I can swap out, but really, I mean, kind of focused on the top 6, getting a really solid 6 for the Rain core, and I think it turned out okay. Mega Swampert, best Swift Swimmer. Archaludon is going to be a beast with stamina and electro shot. Treads compresses a lot of roll compression there. Greninja was the mon I was deciding about between Urshifu and Greninja. I think Greninja is going to be a little bit better just because it's more versatile. Gets a lot more coverage than Urshifu does. Plus, I can run either physical or special. So, being able to do that in the Rain, I can either run Protean or Battle Bond as well. And, I mean, technically, Torrent. Hatterene for some hazard bounce if I need it. Kilowattrel slots in nicely with Hurricanes and Thunders. Flygon's my Terra. One of my Terra captains with Fire, and I think I did Electric. If I ever want to do a Fire type, I think that's probably who I'm going to bring. And then Cutiefly's my other Terra captain with, I think I did Fairy, Ground, and Ghost. I'm realizing I probably should have done Steel, but that's okay. I don't know how often I'm going to bring Cutiefly. Basically just trying to get extra turns for defogs, for other support, like it gets webs, that sort of thing. So anything I can do to do like an extra stun powder, do an extra sticky webs when I need it, like that's really what that Terra's for. Yeah, I don't know. What do y'all think? I kind of drafted this on the fly more or less, but people have said they're scared of it.
I think it's as you said. It is very much
standard
a
Rain
team, a Rain team.jpg.
Yeah,
But
Rain team.jpg.
The little additions, additions of like Flygon, Hisui and Quillfish, and Hatterene, and the funny Cutiefly.
And Cutiefly.
They add a little bit of je ne sais quoi to it.
A little bit of spice, a little bit of like catching people off, because I really think people are going to be mainly preparing for my Rain, which makes sense, and I pretty much plan to bring Rain a lot. Like, I think even though people are preparing for it, it's going to be hard to beat. So other stuff.
Right, let's go into speed tiers.
Yeah.
You've got Kilowattrel, amazing speed tier. Greninja has always been super fast.
Yep.
Reds is 106, but most of the time you're going to be
booster
running
energy,
like
speed,
spin on it,
rapid
booster
spin.
energy, so it's going to be faster.
Yep.
And Hisui and Quillfish, most of the time you'll probably run Intimidate.
Might Intimidate, but I could also run Swift Swim.
Swift Swim even suddenly
that.
is a 170 speed mon. It's equal to like Yosie's Chlorophylls.
Yep.
And not to forget, Mega Swampert.
He's
sitting right there with a 140 base speed
in the rain.
And it's as you said, even without the rain, you've got a Hatterene, you've got some slow mons. You slap that Trick Room on there, and suddenly Mega Swampert
can get a
sweeps without
Swift
the rain.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no. And Archaladon. It does good even
Archaladon.
without the rain. You don't need to run
I don't
Electroshock.
need an
You can
electro
run
shot. I can
standard
run a little more.
Olipress.
Yep, a little more
Uh,
defensive. Maybe some hazards on it. Maybe I've seen like a focus energy set running around. That could be fun. I just wanted to use Archaladon, so
Arch
I'm excited.
Archaladon is definitely. Sorry about that.
You good?
Hello?
Hi.
Alright, sorry. So, I was making jokes about this team when you were building it, where I was just like, "Oh, all I gotta do is click a ground type, like a ground move, and your team just falls apart." And then you got a flying type, and I was like, "Ah, never mind."
And a
Yeah, so
levitate.
it's Flygon.
It's definitely a very strong team. It's definitely a
it
very
has two
scary team.
flying types.
I think probably one of your biggest, not really it's your biggest mistake, but it's not a big mistake because it's like your only mistake. It's not putting Terra on Kilowattrel because it's one of those mons that needs the Terra to like be effective. Yeah, it gets flying and electric coverage, but that's really about it. And that coverage, you could definitely like use that on other mons.
I mean, we'll see. Yeah,
We'll
I
definitely
like
see. You can always
Flygon a lot because Flygon with like a third typing with already like Dragon Ground is good, and then like getting a third type with Stab in there. We'll see. Like I was deciding between the two, and I like Flygon better. So.
Yeah,
I think
we'll
Flygon
just have
being
to
a
wait and
Terra
see.
I think Flygon being a Terra Captain over Kilowattrel just makes it so like if he doesn't have rain, it's not that bad. Like Kilowattrel could still hit Thunder and Hurricanes, and it's still gonna hit like okay, right? But then outside of that, like I mean, Kilowattrel's still good, but would you rather have Terra Kilowattrel versus a Terra Flygon outside of rain?
I mean, I could have done like Bolt Beam coverage. You're right. That would have been really nice with like Thunder and then Terra Blast Ice. But Flygon. Give
Yeah,
it a
it'll definitely
Mega.
be. It's definitely still a scary team. I mean, you got Mega Pert. I'm just kind of repeating the same things that were said already. Mega Swampert, Pelipper, Greninja, Raging Bolt. But they all complement each other very well, especially once it rains up. Excuse me, Iron Treads, very fast, decently strong. Again, that ground weakness, but no big deal because the glue of this team, in all honesty, is Archaludon. That stamina. Why are you gonna ever run sturdy? You're never
No,
running
I'm not.
stalwart
I
because
mean,
this
yeah,
isn't doubles, and you're only running sturdy if you
it's
like
gonna
have
be
some silly set.
stamina. Yeah,
If you have this very silly set,
no, it's gonna
which
be
me
stamina.
would run a silly set.
I mean,
You're not as
maybe.
silly as me,
You don't
so
know.
you're.
I'm pretty silly.
I
We'll
don't
see.
know. You are pretty silly. We'll just have to wait and see. Assuming Quillfish is great.
I wanted Overquill, but that got taken before I could draft it.
Yeah,
So
and they're the same points, which is something we need to fix next league because someone
I don't
mentioned how
know.
that's
They're kind of like with
very different.
Eviolite. I mean, they do different things in that like this is the bulkier version of Overquill. Overquill is a little more offensive, which is why I wanted it. But like other than that, like they like with Eviolite, they hit a lot of the same stat totals. So I think same points make sense. Anyway, tangent. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Very good team. I would say definitely S tier. If
I
we're
don't
going to
know.
the ranking section
Yeah,
of this now,
I'll let y'all decide.
I
We're
would,
Oh
I
yeah,
would
I
say
mean S
definitely
tier.
S tier.
Yeah, S2.
Don't put yourself at the
It's not.
top. We didn't
It's
say
it's
you were
I
at
don't
not
know
top.
where.
where.
You're higher than Sam for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
What
team
the
Sorry.
runs through
fuck?
yours. I'm sorry.
S
His
for
team does
Sam,
No,
run
S
through
for
yours.
PG.
Doesn't.
All right, moving on. We got Eon. Let's read off.
Dion.
No. No, I'm not happy about that last comment,
All
Machete.
right, fine. Then I get to read it off. All
Let
right, so we have
No,
Eon.
I'll read it off.
Nope, you just nope.
Right, so
Sam
we've
read
got
it.
Eon.
Yeah, I'll read it. All right, I'll read off the
Right,
last
so
one because after
we've
this
got
one is
Eon
someone else's. So
with the lovely non-crown Zamazenta, Etran, Hisuian Samurott, Alolan Ninetales, Salamence, Chinchina, Rillaboom, Mega Sableye, Muck, not Hisuian, Blood Moon Ursaluna, and Probopass. I don't know the terrors. Let me get the
I
terrors.
think Probopass. I don't know either.
I,
Muck and
I, I know which
Probopass.
ones
I
they
can read them
are.
off. I
Oh
can
no,
read them
it's
off.
Cinchino.
Cinchino with Normal Grass and Ice, Muck with Poison Dark and Fairy, and Probopass with Steel Fairy Flying.
And he's the Brooklyn Baxcaliburs.
Oh yeah, we don't have that
We
somewhere. It's on there
We kind
somewhere.
of
We
kind of
haven't been
forgot to
saying
say the
team
names
names.
after a
That's
bit,
okay.
Yeah,
haven't really
true.
been
We
saying-
have not been saying
The second
We
Excalibur
we
team.
stopped after we stopped after Machete.
True,
That's
because
okay.
I read mine out. So
Anyway,
anywho,
This was the team who swapped out Sneasler for Zamazenta, and honestly, like Decoats and I were talking about this. It feels like I thought it was a downgrade at first, but it feels a little more like a side grade after talking about it. Because like if
I
you
think
run
like it's
like grassy terrain and grassy seed, you get like 2 times defense off the bat on switch in,
yeah.
which it's kind of crazy. So I don't know, interesting pick.
I think I agree. Well, Zama's not bad over Sneasler. I think Sneasler allows him to do like obviously be the fastest bot in the game, faster than even like a Regieleki, right? Um, so I don't know. Zama's still good. Like it does well. It just builds into a different team. So I don't know. I still like Caesar better over Zama, but Zama's still really good. That's why we say side grade.
yeah, definitely. This team is very I think it's very offensively scary in some regards because you do have that body press from Zamazenta. You have the Hisuian Samurott with sharpness, ceaseless edge, all the other cutting moves it gets. Salamence, he gets off on Moxier too. That could steamroll. Ninetales is good support, and also it could be a very strong special attacker. Cincino, this was a mod I was looking at. I think this was a mod I picked up and then dropped, or I drafted it
Yeah.
originally and then dropped. I don't remember.
You picked it up. You picked it up once.
But those Terra types on it are perfect because Terra Tail Slap, Terra Grass Bullet Seed, Terra Ice Triple Axle. With the skill link, you're always landing all three. So that this thing could definitely break a lot of things, especially with Triple Axle. And like if you have an Ice Weak team, you're not going to see Alolan Ninetales. You're going to see Cincino with Terra Ice run through it because those 3 hits that get stronger with each hit that can't miss because of skill link is just ridiculous. Well, not miss it because of skill link. They won't. You'll always get 3. That's what I meant to say. My apologies.
But I think it technically does it miss. I don't know how that interaction works. I think it does make it hit 3 times still, though.
It
Which
still
is
hits 3
essentially.
times, but it still has a chance to miss. So
So does it keep going, or like once
I'm
it
not
misses?
sure,
I think
actually.
it.
I think if it
We've
hits,
talked
it just
about
keeps
this.
going.
I'm gonna look it up.
This is one of those things we have to look up. We can look it up later.
I'm looking it up now.
Okay, never mind. But other scary threats on this team. Terra Probopass can be very scary. Not Terra Blood Moon. Forgive me. Blood Moon in general. That is a horrifying mon. That thing's scary. We should ban it.
Dude,
I don't like it.
oh my god. So listen. I have experience using Blood Moon, and it suffers from 4 move syndrome a lot.
Well, that was just you, so.
Yeah. It's a good mon. It can one shot some things or like cripple some things without even having to run specs. It's like, don't get me wrong, it's a strong mon. It's definitely not broken. You do gotta like, it's a lot easier in Nat decks I think to handle it than in Paldea. You got a lot of toxic stuff back, right? You have a lot more defensive options back. I could see it like being a case in like a Paldea decks potentially, but I don't know. It's still a really strong mon. Something that you can't ignore on a team for sure, though. So that's how I feel about that.
Yeah. I think we could agree to disagree because you could run this thing a multitude of ways, in a sense, because regular Ursaluna, you kind of get stuck with that guts. You want that if you want that full power, you're going guts. Yeah, you can run AV if on it and hope for a burn. It's for facades, but I think with Blood Moon, it just has a lot more options, and it's in all honesty harder to prep for because it could be AV with 4 attacks. Or it could be Calm Mind, it could be just a bulky support mon with like, just Blood Moon to do massive damage. You could set up with obviously that Calm Mind. I think I just said that, forgive me, my brain is rotted.
We are an hour and a half in. Yeah,
True.
I don't know. Having helped Decoats out last season.
I mean, we can talk about the good things about this team, right? So we got Firewater Dragon Core, or not Firewater Grass Core, Rillaboom.
Heat Ran is awesome.
Samurott.
Heat Ran and
Heatran's
Heatran's
good.
phenomenal.
I love
He
Heat
also
Ran. I love
then
the Heat Ran
has
pick.
a Steel Fairy Dragon Core with Heatran being that glue that holds both of them together,
Yep,
and having Salamence and a little Ninetales. overall really good. I want to say that the priority with Grassy Glide, Sucker Punch, Aqua Jet, Chinchino, I think it
Vacuum
looks
Wave.
quick for probably Vacuum Wave, like pretty good priority too. Really good speed tiers overall, I'd say. Um, so yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things you can talk
A
about
lot of
this
really
team.
good things about this team.
I think that it's the Sableye even learned Trick Room. I don't even know if he gets a Trick Room on this team. That might be the only kind of like weird thing I see with it. If you want a Blood Moon to carry, of course.
I think Salamence can
Other than
run special as well. Doesn't it have a high special
let me look it
attack?
up.
You could definitely run special. Obviously, you
And it
want to
gets
run physical
weird
because that's
special.
boxy.
But you can run
Yeah.
Intimidate too. Like that's the thing is you can run like Specs
Mm.
Intimidate. It's just like catch
Fucking
like Salamence.
Draco Meteor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's definitely
can
very
run
versatile. It's a
mixed.
pseudo legendary. Pseudo legendaries, I've noticed, at least the older ones, at least they're very versatile. They're usually very mixed. Like Garchomp is a mixed. You can run it mixed. You can run it pure physical. You can run it special if you wanted to. Granted, it won't hit as hard on the special side, but you could definitely do it. It's definitely not like oh, I have to run choice specs on Garchomp for it to do anything. It's like no, you could run it. You could, like I said, you can run it mixed. You just give it the special attack investment you need. And I think this team also complements each other very well. Rillaboom, with that passive healing on all these
On a
mons
lot
that
of
are
these guys
grounded.
that really like it.
The only one
Zamazenta
who's
in
not getting
particular.
it, yeah, the only one who's not getting it is Salamence, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine because I think whoever has to fight this thing's gonna know it's fine because they want that Salamence gone because I think it's sweep.
You know what I think
If you're
about
not
this
prepared for it.
team? Other than
What do you
Hisuian
think about it?
Samurott, it's just an honest team.
It is very honest,
It's
very
just
good
an
cast.
honest team.
It's very honest, but it is also how to put this. It feels like it lacks a purpose.
There's a little bit of that with the Veil pickup
that-
and the terrain pickup that don't really have a lot of great abusers. Like they're like support for those things rather than abusing those things truly.
Yeah. I think if he kept Sneasler, a horrifying team with Rillaboom because Grassy Seed, Unburden. Same thing with the
No.
Subtile with
Oh,
Psychic
dude, if
Seed.
you gotta reflect the Veil up too, Sneasler. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, Veil
I mean,
with
Veil's
Sneasler, that
still
thing's not
good
dying
with
right away.
Zama, like IDEFs, and then the
Zama's
With
Zenta was just a hard
Moxie,
kill behind
Moxie
Veil. Yeah,
guy.
definitely.
Heat Rain is also scary. Like Heat Rain can be run offensively or defensively. One of the reasons I really like it. So like Veil with any of these guys is just gonna give them some more turns, which is it's gonna be scary. This is a team that really likes turns. With both the healing and like the setup.
And I can appreciate the Muck too as one of the Terra captains because I feel like Muck is slept on. It's definitely not the greatest Pokemon in the world, and Alolan Muck definitely outshines it. But Muck is still one of those mons where it's pretty good. And I noticed too with the early regional variants, the only thing that changed outside of the design and the typing is it's just the move pool. So like everything changed really, but the stats are the exact same. That's what I'm trying to get at here. The stats are the exact same, so it's still a Muck. It's
special defense, tanky.
It just doesn't have that dark type. And with Terra, you could just make it a dark type, which that is one of his Terra captains. That is one of his Terra types. So it's baby Alolan Muck.
It's good value.
Anyway.
Very good value.
Right, let's get
Very good
this
value.
tiered.
Very good team. Yeah, let's get this tiered because we got two more teams.
Two more, and I'm
We got
hungry.
I am also.
And
I think low A.
And I've got to go to sleep.
I think it's higher than Grovyle and Yosie. I see probably mid A then.
Yeah, I think
right.
that is a good spot.
I'm on
All right.
board. All right, Mr. Coates.
Yeah, Mr. Coates, your team.
Yeah,
Team name.
yes. We're finally going over to the champions team.
Yeah, champion of none.
So the Indian Wave Rushers, all right, coached by none other than Decoats. First up, we gotta start off. I first picked Garchomp. I had to trade it for Excalibur. I got held hostage. I had to use one of my trades. We got a couple terrorists in the draft, so unlucky there. But we got it. We got it at the end. So we have Excalibur, we got Iron Moth, Masquerada, H/, Primarina, Gligar, Donphan, Arctozolt, Gyarados, Vanillix, Mega Bayonet, the GOAT, Spidops, Gyarados with Terra's Flying, Ground Electric, and Vanillix with Ice, Water, Poison. Yeah, what isn't great about this team? That's all I got there.
Oh, I can think of a lot of things that aren't great about this team. To start,
It's cringe. Cringe team.
it's very cringe. No, this team is very Castanet. It has a Snow Setter. It has Arctozolt, so that could be very scary. Aegislash, very good, very bulky, and also very physically offensive with stance change. Iron Moth, very fast, very strong. Excalibur, very strong, not as fast. Meowscarada, Flower Trick exists, and that's all it needs. But also, it gets that broken ass ability.
It gets a lot more.
It's a lot. It's a very scary mon. Meowscarada is
Protean.
definitely very important on this team.
It's
Gligar's very
Protean,
good.
not protein.
Gligar's very good. Gyarados is very good. Terra, let's see. Mega Bandette. So
Oh yeah,
Spidops
yeah.
usually goes by
Mega
the nickname
Bandit.
Spy
No, no,
Gods,
no.
and I'm talking here. Spy Gods is very strong, and this man picked up Spidops only to drop it, only to pick it up again after I dropped it.
Okay, well. First off, okay, I did really bad math, and I wanted a different web setter. But then I was like, shoot, I dropped it, and I was 1 point off, whatever. And then he picked it up, so I was kind of like, I knew he was gonna drop it again. He couldn't handle the heat
Couldn't
of
handle the
having
spite
Spite Ups. The actual
What do you
pressure,
mean I couldn't handle the heat?
the
That was my
pressure of the Pokemon
MVP.
world is on my back, having to carry this fucking mon, and I'm the only one in this group that can lift it. Okay, you guys weak. Okay, I I can only use this mon, and that's how it is. Okay, now Mega
Can't wait for you
Bayonet,
to drop it. You're gonna drop
Mega
it again.
Mega Bayonet, super sleeper. By the way,
Nope.
OU and National X for a reason. It's a joke, but
Yes, with
but
the only set on Showdown calculator being don't use
Don't
Banette.
use
But
Bayonet.
on some real stuff, I mean, like it has super high attack at base 165, has decent enough special attack at 95 with nasty plot. Really good coverage moves depending on what I want to do with it. Plus Prankster
Let's be
Devon.
real. If you're killing me, I'm taking you with me, man.
It's a
It's
minimum. It's a minimum
It's a 1v1
one
trade-off.
kill machine, but it can kill two. It can kill even three. You know what I'm saying? You get the chance to. It's actually like fairly 2 points super slept on. I think. Gyarados being a Terra, honestly, this thing should have been Terra banned. It's gonna sick so a lot of people, or at least clean up a lot of stuff. Super disgusting team or Terra Pokemon. Vanillix Arctozolt as a core in itself, Bolt
Really
Beam
good core.
coverage is guaranteed in Arctozolt, and it can use physical and special. Obviously, Bolt Beak being its main physical move, but you can still hit Blizzards, Icicle Crashes, Freeze Dries. Very versatile one, right? You got Gligar and Dolphin. So Gligar gets all the hazards,
All the
except
hazards.
for really, yeah, except for Sticky Web.
Except webs.
Plus, it gets Roost back, so it's a lot tankier than a lot of people will think. So you're gonna really have to focus on knocking off the Violet, otherwise it's gonna stick around for a while. I think. Dolphin is my Rapid Spinner plus sturdy. I think sturdy's really nice on this. If you run heavy duty boots, you can do cheesy things with it. My top five though, or my Dragon Steel Fairy and my Water Fire Grass core. Primarina is the glue to that. So, I got good speed tiers. I got priority. I can do webs if I need it because I don't have the greatest speed on this team outside of Artizolt being Slush Rush and then
Slush Rush.
and Masquerada Iron Moth. I could see a world where maybe webs with Gyarados and Baxcalibur especially will just tear through a team. So I got some versatility. I got some ways to play this. You know what I'm saying? I got a few moves.
You definitely do. You definitely have a very good team. It's very diverse. You definitely cover all your bases very well. That may or may not be the weakness in this team, in my personal opinion, because the thing with Castnet teams is they're good at covering everything, and your team, it does look like on paper it would play very well with itself. In actuality, we'll just have to see. I'm not downplaying your team or anything. There are
No, I agree that
obviously
I'm
very
curious
good picks.
how it actually plays.
I mean,
In game
time
too.
to spill some tea here to the viewers with my little nerd GU. I heard Mr. Decoats go, I don't think Max Caliber is gonna do it for me. I'm gonna
Dude,
have to
hey,
drop it.
stop fucking, hey,
I'm gonna have
whoa,
to drop
whoa,
Max Caliber.
hey, don't tell my
So,
fucking picks, asshole. What are you doing?
but the one issue I do see right away is Flash Cannon runs through this team.
My one issue is that you're doxing people.
My one issue is look here,
I'm
Mister
doxing
Four
people. Who am
Rapid
I
Spinners.
doxing? Who am I doxing?
Not you. I meant him doxing your
Machete.
picks.
Oh, I know,
True.
right? What the fuck is that?
Teehee, funny, haha. Anyway,
I'm excited to see the Primarina
I mean, don't get me wrong,
glider core.
I'm pretty
I am
rock
too.
weak. That's the big thing. That's why I have
Definitely very
Terrace
rock
to
weak.
not be rock weak.
I
Um,
think you definitely have to play around and make sure your rocks are not on the field when you send out your ice types, your fire types, stuff like that. You just gotta hope for
Essentially
the
half
best,
your team.
especially with Donphin because you mentioned sturdy. Stealth rocks break sturdy unless you're running boots.
they will be running boots. Boots is hey.
Okay,
I've been
all
watching
right, everyone.
Gator.
There you go. Anyone in the draft listening, he's running boots on his Donphin. Click knockoff right away.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna cheat and put recover on it. So good luck, assholes.
Yep, and that's violating the rules, and the match just started, so you just
Yeah,
got
and
sent.
I'm the owner. Okay, guess what?
You don't get owner immunity.
My
You don't get owner immunity.
rules.
All right, and no more bickering and battering.
I
All
really
right.
want to. I
Anyway.
think the two cores I'm most scared of are the Arctozolt's Snow Cone core and the Primarina Glider core. I think those two cores, like, yeah, you've got some strong mons up top, but like those two cores themselves, I think are just really good.
Definitely.
Yeah,
A lot of
things
good
to watch
speed, a
out
lot of
for.
good speedy mons too. Meow is always going to be something people have to prepare for. In some cases, they might even have the speed creep for it. So you're always winning the speed war there most of the time, especially if like
You
you're
can run
running a
it
very
scarfed. You can run it banded. Boots. Like Meow's
yeah
Grotto's just got a crap ton of sets you can run, which I really like.
yeah it's a very good mon, very good pick. I ran it in the first league I did in recent years, but I think it's
Oh,
definitely gonna have
mate,
to
that
wait and
was
see.
time ago, that was.
What up? What are you saying?
That you British slang, forget it.
Oi, look at me, I'm British. Tip cheerio.
Oh,
I'm thinking
look at
A.
me, I'm Mr. G.
I'm thinking A.
I'm thinking A. Hi, A.
I'm thinking between me and Raxos.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Let's go.
All right, he said he'll take it, so it's official. Anyway, last team of the night, boys. David, I'll read this one off because I met David through UNPL, and I invited him here. He was very excited. I was very excited to see what he does. So let's take a little peek ski at his team ski. We got Dragapult. The fact that it was made it this far in the draft undrafted alone is surprising. Anyway, moving aside, immediately with the circle pick, Mega Scissor, Galarian Zapdos, Deoxys Defense, Xurkitree, Tentacruel, Florges, Golurk with Terra Ground Goes Flying, Shiftry with Dark Poison Fire, Ursaring, no Terra, with the final Terra captain being Alolan Executor with Dragon Steel Poison. This, again, I've been saying it a lot with these past few teams because this is a very, very good Castnet team because you're very fast, you're very strong. That Scissor is nothing to scoff at. That Dragapult's nothing to scoff at. He sniped me with the Galarian Zapdos.
And he
Deoxys
sniped
Defense is
Decoats.
scary. He
They
sniped
sniped
Decoats with
me
Mega
with
Scissor.
Mega Scizor.
Yeah.
Yep. Xurkitree very strong. Florges very bulky. Darmanitan very strong. Tentacruel I've seen do decent work in draft in recent
Tentacruel's
seasons.
good. It's fast.
Yeah.
Gets a lot of support
T
type
spikes,
stuff. T-spikes, rapid spin. I like Tentacruel a lot
Shiftry.
as a mon.
Yeah, Shiftry being a Terra captain is very good because
Really good.
you can run Terra Fire on that thing, and you're resisting Fairy. If you have Tailwind up, you're fast. You get the Wind Rider boost because they buffed Shiftry, and I think you deserve to raise that boy in a point or two. But that's a conversation for another day. Ursaring's very scary even without Terra because you can run it with Eviolite because of Ursaluna existing now. Xurkitree, Ultra Beast, Ultra Beasts aren't in the game anymore
Beast
for a reason.
boost.
Yeah, Beast Boost, very real, very scary. Golurk, very bulky, very strong. I think overall, this team has to be one of my favorites because of just how threatening it is just looking at it. It is a
Secret
very
Sun team.
threatening team.
Our second
Sun
Secret
team.
Sun team with Shiftry,
This is our,
Chlorophyll.
this is our third, right?
I don't remember who had the second.
Nah, we know.
It's another
There's
one.
two
Yeah,
two
Raxos had a
actual
secret
Sun
sub.
teams, two actual Sun teams, two secret Sun teams.
There you go.
Yeah, I
But
think.
the most
I'm sorry.
important part for this, and I will say this now, is even his defensive mons are threats.
Definitely,
Because
100%. I agree.
in the previous league, we had a constant joke that, oh yeah, just Ursaluna Blood Moon, for example. Oh, just hit it with a water attack, it'll die. Oh, hit it with Surf. And the problem is, if it somehow lives and presses that one Calm Mind, it lives. Deoxys defense is the exact same with Cosmic Power. If it lives and presses one Cosmic Power, it is instantaneously so much harder to deal with.
Definitely, you need to
And
run a phasing
it has
move.
the exact same move pool obviously as the other Deoxys, so it has access to stored power.
Yep.
So you could run your normal spikes
Cosmic
and
power, stored power.
Cosmic Power stored power is one of the most common
I think it gets
psychic
screens too.
setups.
It gets screens, it gets
does,
rods,
yeah.
it gets spikes, it gets Thunderwave. It's a very good support mod, but if you
And
need to clean up, it can clean up.
most importantly, it gets recover.
Yep.
Definitely,
So
recover
it
is
does
always
all of
very nice.
this. You finally chip it down, and then suddenly it's back up by 50% health.
That new move, Psychic Noise, definitely coming in clutch now that we have access to it in this league, especially against bulky mods like this that have been drafted. Last league it wasn't drafted, and Psychic Noise wasn't available. The last league we did, we weren't doing any of the new DLC stuff because it was so
It
close
came
to
out
the
in the
end.
middle of it, yeah.
It came out literally like first week of playoffs, so it wasn't allowed. All good reason, fair enough. But Deoxys is definitely very scary, and I think
Its
if
only
you're up against,
downside is the type.
yep,
Which is a big
and
downside, but yeah, he's got ways to cover for it, so.
definitely. And I mean, all of his options to cover it are the rest of his team. I mean,
Yeah.
fuck, it's a scary. Pardon my French. It's a scary team. This is another one of those scary teams that I am not looking forward to playing against, especially in my week one. Downsides, real quick, is I guess some of these mons they do have the bulk, they have the speed. The ones that don't have the bulk, and also don't really have the speed, that's where it kind of begins to suffer. And so, to some extent, you could easily deal with Xurkitree. It's a very strong mon, yes, but you could
It's
definitely
frail.
knock it out pretty quickly. Very frail. Tentacruel, very good. Earthquake runs through it. Earthquake, in particular, could do a lot of damage to this team. Any ground move could actually do a lot of damage because your only real immunity to flying, immunity to ground, my apologies, is Zapdos. But you're definitely bringing an electric type into this team, always. Because that Tentacruel's there, you're going to want to deal with that Tentacruel. And electric is just also one of those good types to have. Like, and his only real ground type is the Golurk. But if he tears the Golurk into Ghost or Flying, there goes that ground type. Now you just have an no electric immunity. You just have resistances. It's definitely, it's still a scary team despite all that.
Yeah.
I think this is a very good low tier S team.
I
In
think
my
this is a
opinion.
mid tier S tier.
Yeah,
I think we
I think it's
think
higher than PG's.
I think it's higher than PG's. Oh, okay. That's a very high tier team then in comparison to the rest.
I don't know.
I agree.
It's either like
I
right
agree.
below or right above. I mean, I could see both of them being really
Yeah.
good.
I'll put it above mine just as
You know,
lack
no,
of
I will
bias.
say actually, you mentioned the no ground immunity is kind of big, except only having a Zapdos. I will kind of say that.
Yeah, and I mean you only have the one electric immunity in Golurk, which is one of your Terra captains. So if you're not tearing Golurk, or you tear it into Ghost or Flying, which if you tear it into Flying, I think that's a throw. Because
Yeah,
then
I guess it's true.
you're
Yeah,
losing your electric
maybe
immunity is becoming an electric weakness.
I could say. Honestly, I could say both ways. It depends. Whatever you guys feel like
It
it.
really depends.
But
We have to see how
okay, how
this
about
team
this?
plays.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say it's better than Sam's. That's all I'm gonna say.
I think I'd put it between PG and Sam.
Okay.
I am just getting so much slander.
You're in S tier. Calm down.
You're in S tier,
No, I
big
know.
dog.
But every single comment it's better than Samsung.
I think I'm comfortable with this positioning. I think
The only one that I would say that I think I would prefer to retain is just swapping Yosie and Eon, because I feel like whilst they're similar strengths, you kind of see what she's going for, while his is a complete mystery.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the end of the league, we'll do a complete redo of the tiers.
Yeah,
To
100%.
see what actually shown off.
I think we could just not even have to do a full re-tier, just determine like, all right, we were either right on the dot or incredibly wrong. I think if we want to do some, I think if we want to do some quick switch around, I think we're doing Ninblox a disjustice putting him at the lowest ranked team. I think we're doing him a disjustice doing that. Ninblox does have a really good team. Same with that, but this is just our tier list. It's B. It's not,
I mean, they're still good teams.
So
it's still a good team.
I mean, there's a reason we didn't go below B. Like, there's a reason we didn't go below B.
Yeah, all these teams are phenomenal.
Hey, trust me, there's a few C and D teams in our last league.
Yeah, there was
I mean, there was a couple straight F teams.
F. I put them shits in Z.
Yeah, so that's why it's like. I mean, that's why like, everyone has a chance to win versus the other guy.
Yes,
it's gonna come down to how we pilot these teams for sure.
Definitely, and I hope everyone has an amazing season, because everyone has phenomenal teams in my opinion. Everyone's team is great. This is just our general looking at the Pokemon and seeing like how we feel about them.
These are our initial judgments. Kind of as a fun thing to look through, have the teams.
For all we know, Ninblox is going to sweep everyone every week 6-0 nonstop, and they're going to win the whole thing.
I would love to see it.
Yep. Except they won't, because I'll be the only S tier, baby. I'm making the final, and I'm winning. Good luck.
My name's Decoats. I'm going to trade away my Excalibur now.
Hear you from down there in the semifinals, Machete.
All right, get off your high horse.
Anyway, thank you for making it to the end of this.
Yeah, if you've made it,
very much appreciate it.
I'm looking at the time, 1 hour 51 minutes. So you are a trooper.
I hope you guys liked the slides. That was all Machete's idea.
Yep, and you were yelling at me the whole time saying it was
stupid. Anyway,
we're going to be doing...
really hope that everyone who's in the draft league enjoys the draft league, and anyone that finds us just by typing the YouTube algorithm, typing in Pokemon and somehow finding this video. Yes. We hope you enjoy all of the commentary that we'll be doing each week on each of the fights with highlights and such like that.
I will say it will not be all of us every week. It'll probably be one or two of us. Mix and match.
Yeah.
It'll probably be one or two.
We'll try to get a couple of the coaches and stuff in too. Also, you're going to be seeing this slideshow a lot because we made it. We put a lot of work into it, so we're going to see it a lot.
Don't mind all the inconsistencies and how it looks kind of messy. Don't mind that. Just pay attention to all the pretty colors. Pay attention to all the pretty colors.
Yeah, Machete's going to fix that all after this.
Nope. Nope.
Look at the Birmingham Bulwarks. Look at the Birmingham Bulwarks.
I don't pay attention to that team. They're British.
We here are very American.
I'm waiting for it. Where is it? Go on, say it.
Even though what's funny is that the only the New Zealander is fucking S tier team. You know what I'm saying? Really outdrafted the rest of us.
I'm so proud of you guys. You didn't mention the Boston Tea Party. Right.
Oh, we don't need the Boston Tea Party. We had the American Revolution.
1774.